any problems. I think it was just me the whole fucking time.
I could be. If people are like, he's got a maybe I have like an echo effect turned on and I don't know about it.
Dude, okay, guys. Okay, we're live. Does Jeremy sound normal or not?
Well, I mean, I don't sound normal normally. So, I mean, I don't. Saying that I'm normal is kind of.
Okay, in perspective, does Jeremy sound like Jeremy or not?
In perspective, does he sound like the douchebag that he usually is? Or does he sound like a echoey doubled version of his normal douchebaggedness?
Part of me wants it to be me, right? And then part of me wants me to not be crazy. Those are kind of.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean you're not crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
that's a really good.
There's that. I'm looking and making sure I don't have any like weird things turned on. I don't see any weird sound effects or any weird.
It's me, dude. It's got to be me. I'm the problem. I'm the drama. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. What does chat say? Oh, Jesus.
Chat said no echo here. Normal douche to me.
I miss you guys too. You a bunch of fucking savages.
Okay. You know what?
We're moving on. Let me get the old chatter pulled up so I can see these ass clowns in here.
It's a me problem.
Yeah. So we were sitting here fucking around for 10 minutes, and it's just like you got too much wax in your fucking ear.
Do you know what? It's probably it's got to be like I'm using an extension on these headphones, and I wonder if it's. I have an echo. You got to be fucking with me, Steve. There's no way. Jeremy would have yelled at me by now. We've been doing this for 15 minutes.
What'd he say?
He said that I have an echo. Oh,
it's all you. It's all you the whole time.
All right.
Hold on. Trying to get. Let's see. Have we had a live stream since you guys?
Since 8 years, dude.
Broke the Hundo Cherry.
We definitely haven't.
Woo, son, that was
made it, dude. Added another 0, dude.
I don't know.
Thank you, buddy.
Talked to you since because you've been busy. I've been busy. Everybody's been busy. I don't know that we've even talked since you guys broke 100K.
I think you and I talked for like 3 minutes over text once, in that time frame, and that was it.
Well, I mean, once Dan and them got to like 75, they started big timing me. And like,
yeah, we thought the guy with 5 times our subscribers
he started big timing me. He was like, I don't need this fucking guy anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Oh,
like you ever needed me. Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, dude? You're one of my favorite people. I don't live anywhere near.
Dude, it's actually sad that like most of my favorite people I don't live near.
I have the exact same experience now, like in life, where we've met a bunch of people in the community, and we've met like like other content creators as well, and like
holy fuck! Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just saw that super chat that just came through.
Oh shit. It came in earlier for you, and I'm the host. What the hell, Julie? I'm hooked up for Julie. Fucking okay. This is the problem. I've told Julie 1,000 times not to super chat money, and she does it. Here's
the thing, Julie. I'm going to start live streams. You can come super chat me.
There you go. There you go. Julie said, "I just want to thank you for being awake to show up for this stream." Okay. Listen, they wanted to do a Zoom last night at 10 p.m. and I was in fucking bed, and I'm like. I'm not getting out of bed. I'm sleeping. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? Me and my wife have joked around. Now, I don't really have this problem because I'm a bit of a night owl, right? Like I have a hard time sleeping at night. I tend to be more awake later. And then my wife, on the other hand, is normal. And it's funny after you get past a certain age, and I actually saw somebody on social media joking around about this. They're like, when you're younger, you brag about like how late you stayed up. You're like, oh man, I was in a fucking rager last night, stayed out till 3 or whatever, and now you brag to your friends. You're like, dude, I got to sleep at 8:30 last night. It was fucking fantastic. I got a solid 10 hours of sleep. It was fucking great.
You know what the problem is? The problem is actually, honestly, the problem tends to be, I love being awake at night so much. It's probably my favorite thing of all time ever. Like,
Yes.
From a very personal preference standpoint, it is one of the greatest, next to sex. Staying up late's the best, right? You're alone.
It is great. It's great. Well,
it's downtime. Everybody else is sleeping.
That's it, right? Everybody says, "Oh, that's why I like to get up at 4:00 in the morning because the world isn't up yet," and blah blah blah. And there's some truth to that, right? If you get up like crazy early in the morning, nobody normal is awake yet, and you're the only one up. But that also applies at night after like 1:00 in the morning, and you don't have to get up fucking crazy early. You just have to stay awake. So I prefer to do it at night.
Me too. You know what the problem is though? Is I have little babes. So like Luna is up 7:00, fuck yourself, no matter what. Right.
I remember those days. Yeah.
And so the problem is right now in my life, being awake till like 1 to 2, which is like my favorite, dude, like a nice 10 to 2 a.m. is phenomenal.
It's great.
But 7:00 rolls around like hell after a 2:00. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's bad. See, my kid, your youngest is how old?
She's 3.
Yeah. See, you're right in the fucking thick of it, son. My youngest is now 10.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm 10, 13, and 17.
Yeah.
So like
you are so old. Holy shit. Oh, dude, I forgot, man.
Your oldest son is almost as old as me.
Oh, dude. Wow. That's wild.
Dude, he turns 18 in July, and to be honest with you, having somebody that's about to be a legal adult. Now, let's be real. At 18, legally you're an adult, but
mentally you're a child. Yeah,
you're still a child, right? Like, and me and him joke around about that, but it's scary that I am old enough to legally be parent to someone that is now an official adult.
That's terrifying.
They can fucking vote.
Yeah,
they can do all the things.
You know what I'm not looking forward to is so Holden's 8, Luna's 3. I'm not looking forward to either of them driving. Period. Like at all.
Bro. You don't. Let me tell you one of the most terrifying things. Hold on, I need to use one of my camera things for this effect here. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. Hold on.
We're testing new shit tonight.
Let me tell you one of the most terrifying things. Yeah, close up. Is that dramatic? Did it get closer?
Dude, it would have been so dramatic had you
not
like executed it correctly. Yeah.
One of the most terrifying things on the planet is teaching a 16-year-old to drive. Being in the passenger seat with no way to stop the fucking car. And they're like going off the road and you're like going for imaginary wheels and brakes that aren't there.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, bro. It's terrifying.
So, you know, one of the benefits. Okay, hold on. Let me get to the Julie thing real quick. She said, it's appreciated. Hi, Jeremy. Sorry you have to listen to the sarcasm. It was necessary. It wasn't necessary, but thank you for the ridiculously generous super chat. We'll be seeing Julie and Dan here pretty soon. So Ricky and I will. So. All right. Sean said, am I sending this during my anniversary dinner? Yep. Don't forget to pick a winner from last Monday's video tonight. Well,
Sean, my buddy. I don't know. He's watching or is he just sending that? I mean, I guess he has to be watching to send it, right?
At his anniversary dinner. Like what the fuck?
Well, happy anniversary. How long have they been married? I think
they've been married like 37 years or something like that. Sean's been alive for 800.
He's not even 37 years old.
No, he's 800, dude.
Because Sean's how old?
33.
And you're
33.
Oh, you guys are the same age.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're only like a decade younger than me. That's not actually more than a decade, technically.
If it makes you feel better, by the time I'm your age, I'll look a decade older than you look right now. So
thank you. That does actually make me feel a little better.
What I was going to say is,
Shanley, bro. It's the T Shanley.
It's the dude. We don't even this. I was telling somebody this the other day. We don't work with Tej anymore, but that the cream, like the it's Superman cream. You know what I'm talking about? That shit, I still use every day, dude. Like the serum or whatever.
There are guys, every time I do a Tej spot on my channel, there are some guys that give me shit about it because there's that group of guys that thinks in order to be a manly man, you have to be a dirty, filthy bastard. You know what I mean? There's that group of individuals. And I don't care. I'm as guy as they get, right? Sure. Like I like to do all the guy things, but it's good stuff. It makes my face feel nice, dude. Like it keeps me from looking all dry and crinkly, and I'm already getting like crepe skin on my hands and shit because I'm fucking getting old. Like anything I can do to hold back the clock a little bit, man.
But what I was gonna say was, the nice part about, like, we live in the middle of nowhere, right? So like Holden already drives his side by side by himself in a quad, and like
that's awesome.
They have steering wheels.
I wish I had that
pedals.
kind of land for that.
Right.
Those kids will grow up to be like solid.
Well, and when it comes time to drive, it's like you've been driving since you were like 6. Not cars, right? But vehicles.
But that was me, right? Like when I was a kid, we had I started out on horses when I was like 5, which doesn't really translate, but like I rode horses,
riding, steering.
And then, we had 4-wheelers. I had dirt bikes and stuff, which by the way, all had gear. It was manual, right? So you had a clutch and all that. So like when I had to start driving, like I had a pretty good understanding of like handling a vehicle.
Right.
My kids never really had that. So the first time he got behind a wheel, it was terrifying. Yeah. I mean, he was like immediately going off the road, like steering. He didn't understand steering. And I'm like, oh, we're going to die. Like,
which seems like such a foreign concept to think about right now in your life, like not understanding a steering wheel and a pedal, right?
Right. Like that's what I thought. I thought, oh, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like you just, but no, dude, he immediately went off the road and was going through somebody's grass. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking hit the brake.
Oh,
hit the brake.
Shit. Okay, really quick before we get too far into this.
Yep.
Because I know we're going to end up in the weeds. Let's see. We had...
No, on me? With me on a live stream in the weeds?
No. Yeah, dude. This is all scripted, and we really laid it all out beforehand. So we dropped 2 old elk barrels yesterday that we just recently picked. And I believe there was 2 bottles of this one left when Jeremy and I started the stream. I think there were 2. Woo. So if Luke or Cheech or one of the mods will post a link in chat, the password to the page right now is Colorado in all caps. And there's 2 of them left. So if you get one, awesome. And I hope you enjoy it.
Dude, you guys go through more whiskey than fucking Woodford Reserve. Okay.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, it is
doing barrel picks is fun, man.
Dude, I am still mad at Woodford Reserve, actually.
So is that thing gone? Is that the situation?
They never, they just ghosted me. They sent me the samples. They sent me the fucking samples. They told me to pick one.
Yeah.
I picked one. Then they started giving me the fucking reach around. Well, I guess the reach around would be a good thing. The run around about like bottle shortages and how the barrel selection program had been put on hold indefinitely until they got their bottle shortage worked out. Yeah. And then about every month or 2, I would be, hey, what's the deal with this? Oh yeah, still just on hold, bottle shortages. And then they just stopped responding. And
Dude, if it makes you feel better, I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people's first experiences when it comes to barrel picks, but our first one ever was with Redwood Empire out of California. Mm-hmm. We had the sample. We had like 10 people over. It's the first pick we'd ever done, right? So it was like, let's make a fucking thing out of it. Mm-hmm. We filmed the whole thing. We had 10 people. We did the whole setup blind. We had 2 people go at a time. Nobody knew what anybody picked. We it's all on video on a fucking drive still. We never released it because Redwood, it was right before COVID hit, and Redwood ended up laying off. Well, Redwood contracts out a bunch of people, right? So they call them the Purple Army. The Purple Army ended up laying off all these people, and everybody we were dealing with, they laid off. So at one point,
you had no contacts.
We had no contacts. So I texted the guy who set it up for us from Purple Army, and he literally texted me back and goes, they laid me off, dude. Here's my boss's cell phone number.
He's like, here's his home address, his cell phone number, and a naked picture of his wife. So dude, how about that?
He didn't care at all. So I text his boss. His boss goes, I'm so sorry that fell through the cracks. I'll get it figured out, blah, blah. Dude, a week later, I hear nothing. I text him. He goes, they let me go. I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Right, but at the same time, we picked a 12-year-old MGP barrel. I'd love to have it. You know what I mean? So we never got it.
At this point, I've given up on the barrel.
We never got it.
At this point, it's so fucking old. The shit's probably, who even knows if they even still have it.
Right.
And I still love Woodford. It's still one of my favorite. Double Oak's still one of my favorite bottles of all time. But it did kind of piss me off a little bit because it's like, just tell me. Just be like, hey, we had some bottle shortages. We had a lot of issues. Like, it's just not going to happen. Right. And then I would have been like, okay, thanks. But they didn't. They just kept saying, oh, bottle shortages, indefinite hold. But, at some point, and then like, I don't know that. Just be straight. Be like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And then I'll just move on.
Honestly, dude, if you want to do like a different pick, then let me know. I'm sure we can figure it out. But I can't help with like a Woodford.
The guy at Sagamore had reached out.
Brian.
Yeah, Brian at Sagamore had reached out, and I'm
one of the greatest people.
Dude, let me tell you something. First off, let me get a cigar lit. Oh, did I send you any of these?
Are those your new? We got a bunch of shit to talk about because I saw you on a live stream with fucking what's his name from Privada.
Yes.
And you're talking about like I saw a fucking box, and I'm pretty sure that box is your box.
Yes.
Yeah, that looked cool as hell. So
look at
ooh. Oh, hold on. Well, at least
this is just like the last batch as far as. We didn't do a custom band. This is the same. It is a different cigar. This one's rolled by AJ Fernandez, but we use the same band and stuff because we wanted to. We're doing a whole cigar brand, right? Where'd you go? You disappeared. You gave me the full thing, and then you went away.
I was lighting my cigar, and I was letting you talk about your shit, and then I saw that you zoomed back out, and my cigar was in my mouth, and I had a lighter in my hand. It was a whole thing, dude. I don't know.
But anyway, we were doing a whole brand, and AJ's going to roll it for us, and we're doing a box, and we're going to do a whole brand. It's not going to be like a release. We're doing like a Siers cigar branding.
Hell yeah.
Brand of things.
I love that.
But that's like a long goal. Like it'll probably be close to a year and a half or so before that happens. Cause there's just a lot of red tape and a lot of stuff that goes into that. So I didn't want to go a year and a half without putting out another cigar. So AJ rolled this for us and we used the bands that we had left from the last batch. And this is a Habano from AJ and I'll send you guys. I didn't send you guys any, did I?
Mm-mm.
I'll send you guys some. You like AJ Fernandez, right?
Yeah, I do a lot.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
So really quick, somebody just said, Be First Bar said, need some of those cigars. How do I get some?
Privada. They're on Privada's website.
Okay.
We have to be careful about how much we push you and give you exact directions because YouTube has a real weird thing about like sending people directly to, but Privada's website. Privada.
You know what? They don't like it when you do it with alcohol either. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm just so close to the point where it's like, hey, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing, and I don't want to say too much.
This isn't monetized, so I'd say whatever you want.
Well, I don't want to bring this to their
attention,
but I have had videos taken down and got warned that if I did it again, I was going to have a channel strike.
Are you serious?
For linking to tobacco, for linking directly to a cigar club or a cigar brand or anything like that. They took a video down, sent me a nice little email saying, hey, this is a warning. Next time you do that, it's going to be a channel strike and you won't be able to upload for 5 days. Like,
jeez,
straight up, dude. And they took the video down. They didn't
right.
They didn't demonetize it. They fucking took it down. Right. But they have the same rule about alcohol.
Yeah.
But they don't enforce it with alcohol for whatever reason. I'm not complaining. Thank God they don't. But if you look in the actual guidelines under what's allowed, there's the same restrictions for alcohol that there is for tobacco, but they just don't enforce the.
They'll care at some point. The alcohol stuff will happen for sure.
Guns also.
Yeah, they did the gun thing before the cigar thing, right?
You know, you're not even allowed to show a gun on a live stream.
Or what though?
I think they take the live stream down.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like Demolition Ranch is still doing his thing.
No. You can show guns in videos.
Not on live streams.
On live stream, like I've got one sitting right here.
Sure.
If I put it over here, I don't know what would happen.
Really?
Like, I don't know if all of a sudden the fucking stream would shut down. People would like rappel from the ceiling at your place. I don't fucking know.
I guess, and I know this is gonna, from a very general standpoint, right? I'm a gun guy myself. So before everybody in chat lose their fucking mind when I say this. I could see from a standpoint of like, if we don't allow any guns, nobody will do something super wild on a live stream accidentally, right? Like I can see the argument at least for guns where it's like, listen, 99.9% of the time, a handgun is on a live stream on a gun channel. People are handling it properly and everything's fine.
Right.
The one time shit goes haywire when it's live is a huge problem, right? Like without a doubt. Cigars and whiskey don't feel like the same land to me.
And like I said, luckily they don't seem to be very, even though the rules are technically there, I think they wrote them so that if they want to, they can, but it seems like they do leave the alcohol thing alone for the most part.
For right now, yeah.
But the T and the F part of ATF, they fucking enforce
they care a lot.
They care a lot, and they enforce it strictly.
Dude.
You're absolutely allowed to make gun content. I'm actually going to start doing a lot more gun content on my second channel.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm going to do a lot more. That's going to actually be what that whole channel is. It's going to be Cigars and Guns. Maybe I should rename it from Jeremy Siers After Hours to Jeremy Siers Cigars and Guns. but
what do you name it?
But I'm probably just gonna leave it After Hours. You start changing names and the shit gets weird. But yeah, you can absolutely show guns. You can show shooting guns. You can, as long as you're doing it in a safe fashion. Okay. You can't show changing the gun. Like I couldn't be taking a gun apart or putting a scope on it.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to show people how to build them, right? That's
right. So you can't do any of that, but you can show. But on a live stream, you can't even fucking show one. Like I was watching a live stream of a guy that I watch on YouTube a lot that does gun stuff, and to be able to demonstrate what he was talking about, he had the upper of an AR-15 because technically the upper isn't a firearm. So he just had the upper part and was using that for demonstration purposes so that it wasn't a firearm.
Really?
Yeah. You can't.
Interesting.
They get very weird. I don't know why live streams are such a problem.
It's gotta be because like somebody went live on Facebook randomly and went and shot people, right? Like it's gotta be because a mentally
that's
unstable.
Kind of like the law about that's kind of though the same thing as outlawing guns, right? Like there's already a rule against killing people.
Right.
Like we don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure YouTube already has a policy about killing people on
No, but I think if they don't allow guns on a live stream at all. Now, like I think this is actually I believe that this is why the other rules in place where your channel has to like meet certain requirements before you can live stream. Like you can't make a new channel tomorrow called Jeremy Plays with Toys, right? And then live stream tomorrow. Like it's not one of the options. And I think the reason they do that is so like a mentally unstable person can't be like, fuck it, I don't even have a channel, we're streaming this shit. You know what I mean?
When
like
you say toys, they're on there like dildoing their mouth with like a
listen, I assume they're toys that you own. Yeah, 100%.
Glad you don't have this monetized. Because it would have been demonetized just based on that, I believe.
We swear too much to monetize these. So because now they're demonetizing for swearing.
But they can still do super chats though, right? You don't have to monetize it to get you just have to have your channel
monetized. Channel, yeah. Yep, exactly. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, that's good. Somebody said we're getting close to talking politics.
No, we're not.
We're not talking politics.
And Jeremy and I have talked politics. It's fine.
We're talking. Don't get me on a fucking tangent about that. We did that on the podcast the other day about some of the politics that's going on.
Jeremy started QAnon. It was crazy, dude. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
on a whiskey note, just so I don't piss your crowd off too much. Let me go back to hold on.
They'll be fine.
Dude, you guys turned me on to this. I'm a huge fan of the whiskey.
We're going to start working with them again.
The whiskey, I'm actually having exclusive. Put my logo on some of these because
that's cool.
I like these way better. I like these way better than Glenn's. I don't know if I'm going to get lynched for that because some people love Glenn's, but
no, you won't.
I just like these better.
Dude,
do you like these better than a Glenn?
So this is the funny part. ADHD whiskey, Matt Porter. You know who I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
ADHD whiskey only uses whiskey glasses.
Dude, I heard on your channel you mentioned it, and I heard you mention that it was ADHD whiskey that turns you on to them. And I immediately went on Amazon and was like, whiskey, what the fuck is this? Because I had never heard of them, and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Because I never have been a huge fan of Glencairns, right? Like I like them for what they do.
Yeah, they feel princessy.
They do. They're very curvy, and this is like more angular. It feels a little more modern. It's a little like bulkier. I don't know. I just like it more. Dude, have you ever heard of these people, by the way?
Dude, we just we just did like a spot with Still Austin, right? You did too.
Yeah, so did I.
So we've been to Still Austin.
Really good.
We've been to Still Austin twice. There's like super incredibly nice. If you ever go to Texas, like it's 100% worth the visit. But
I went to Austin and I didn't have time to go there, but yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I went to Austin.
Oh, I couldn't believe you left your fucking house. I saw you and Taylor's video about doing pocket checks at that whatever that thing or you guys were doing was. And I was like, there's no fucking way in hell Jeremy Siers is there. There's literally not a chance. Like hell froze over. Like airplanes were falling out of the sky. You know what I mean? But
we drove.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. We drove.
That makes way more sense.
We drove. But this Austin, is actually really good.
I like the cast strength a lot. I
like them both a lot. So I don't like to start with the cat, and I like the artwork a lot too. Like, dude, you got to look up. Like, we always talk about Redwood Empire and their artwork, and I'm feeling this. I think it was a local artist that did this too, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. You have to look up their limited series labels. There's no better labels in whiskey. It's like Compass Box, right? Still Austin's limited series is like up there with Compass Box for me. And it's not fucking close, man.
Because here's the thing. There's a lot of whiskey companies that send me whiskey and they're like, hey, we'd love to work with you. And then I taste it. I'm like, because you will not like what I'm going to say about that. Right. So this company reached out and they're like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, you send me a bottle, but like, I can't make any promises because if I don't like it, I'm not going to support it. Or like, I'm not going to do an ad saying how great it is if it sucks. Like, it's just not. Some channels are like that. That's not me.
Sure.
So they sent it and I taste it. I had high hopes because I like Texas in general. And a lot of Texas whiskey is really pretty good. But I tasted it. I was like, holy shit, this stuff's actually fucking kind of banging.
Do you know what? So
it's good. It doesn't have that Texas funk.
It doesn't have a lot of that. Nancy Fraley's the blender there, and she's like, absolutely fucking phenomenal at her job.
Because most Texas whiskeys I can pick out of a blind because they have that distinct Texas funk. I don't know how else to explain it. It's almost
that's the correct word.
It's like a funky, leathery, kind of earthy kind of flavor. And I don't dislike it, but
I dislike it often.
It can be a bit overpowering. And this, I wouldn't have even known this was a Texas whiskey if you wouldn't have told me.
Dude, what's so interesting to me about them, or what I thought was so cool was, so they reached out and were like, hey, we want to work with you guys. And it was like, okay, so we got to figure out a way to do it because we don't work with whiskey or distilleries that way. Right. So, like, we're not going to like just review your bottle because we do reviews. And then if you pay us for a review and we like your product, or even if we actually like it, it's like all kind of bullshitty for us. Right. Because literally like every week we do a review. So,
makes it kind of hard.
And what was really
if you're doing an ad spot, can you do a review? Because then it's a paid thing, and then are people going to think that you're being disingenuous? And that's why I put it on a barbecue video. Yeah, that's why I put it on a barbecue video. I didn't even put it on a whiskey video because I thought it would be weird.
Well, dude, so here's what was really cool. So, we sent to Rockwell, hey, we don't normally do it like that. Like, and then he came back and said, Still Austin is just interested in working with you guys. Like if we can figure out a way to do it. And I'm like, oh, if they're open to like letting us figure it out, then we can figure out a way to do it because we like them. We've been there twice. When we went there, they're fucking great. We tried like this, cognac finish rye when we were down there. That was like 3 or 4 years old and it was fucking awesome. But, we came back and it was like, what if we play a game? Right. And the video is a game and the video doesn't have Still Austin whiskey in the game or anything. It's just, we'll come up with a game to play. It'll be me versus Sean in the game. And then when we play the game, what if like, instead of just doing this for us or like paying us or whatever, what if we do like it community forward? So Still Austin came back and they're like 100% let's do it. So now what they ended up doing was
cool people there.
Dude, they're fucking awesome. What they ended up doing was giving away $100 gift card to their online store, or if you go in person to anything at the distillery.
That's awesome.
So now like somebody in the comment section, which I'm supposed to pick tonight for Sean because Sean won, but somebody in the comment section gets $100 gift card, and like we can't say that they can buy something that come like that, but if you go there, you literally can. So it's like fucking awesome. Like they were so cool to work with, man. And some people are fucking assholes to work with, and they were not. They were the exact opposite of that, which was awesome. Well,
and it's funny. Me and my wife talk about that all the time because you know this, but she does all the back end stuff for me, right? Yeah. She does all the bookkeeping, all the other stuff. And then Rockwell does all my scheduling and stuff. I just stick to making videos and being an idiot. Me and her talk all the time about how it's so refreshing when you work with a company that like the people are just cool people, because so many of them are douchebags. Dude. They really are. And even if you like the company, the people they have in charge of doing the marketing and stuff, so often they're just corporate uptight D-bags. And it's like,
dude, some of like our favorite products sometimes end up being like, hey man, can you just we've like now stopped working with people or turned shit down because they're like, these are the requirements. We're like, what if we did this? They're like, nope. That's not within our thing. And it was like, what the fuck? You don't know us or the none of it. Right. So it's like, no, fuck that shit. Like, but still Austin was literally the exact opposite, which is fucking awesome. Like when we asked them if we could do whatever we wanted, you know who else was like that? Blind Barrels. When
I haven't worked with them.
We started working with Blind Barrels, and one of our stipulations was, as long as you allow us to organize that content how we'd like to, and we can do something we want to do with it, then everything sounds great, right? We got the boxes. We built a box with them and everything. And he came back and he was like, you guys know what you guys do. Like, I don't know anywhere near as well as you do what you guys do best, right? And I was like, if everybody just fucking operated like this, the people watching the video would be happier. We would be happier. You guys would, in theory, have more clicks on your shit because it's honest, right?
Yep. No, there's a handful of companies that I work with that are like that, and they're super chill. They're super nice people. They're easy to work with. And I try to work with those people over and over again because the people that are difficult are just, I tell you, a company I started working with recently that I really like working with, they've been very nice. Their stipulations are a little strict because there's legal things that you have to watch out when you're doing promotion.
Zbiotics?
No. AG1.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forget. Okay, hold on. I forget we exist in very different stratospheres here. Holy shit. All right. So anyways, back to your Joe Rogan sponsorship. Go ahead. Sorry.
Whatever, man. They're all over YouTube at this point. They're all over. But they have a fairly strict, because there's legal stuff with what you can and can't say, or because they can get in trouble. But other than their sheet being a little detailed because they don't want to get sued. Yep. They've been very cool to work with. They're nice people. They're not overly strict about shit.
Sure.
I've enjoyed working with them. Tej is really good to work with these days. At first they were a little strict, and then we kind of had to come to Jesus just with like, I'm like, look, you got to give me the freedom or this isn't going to work. And now they're like super helpful and open.
One of my favorite ad spots one of my favorite ad spots I've ever seen on YouTube is one of your Tej ad spots.
Which one?
When you squirted the lotion on your face from across the room.
And I had the pink robe.
Holy shit, dude. And that was when you were doing like the tactical Jeremy too, which was fucking phenomenal.
Dude, you know what's funny about that is I believe we put an outtake at the end of that video because it was actually Allison that did it. Right. I had her off camera and I told her, I'm like, look, just fucking give it a hoot. Right. Dude, that came out of there like a fucking shotgun. I mean, it was like
so much.
Hit me in the face, splattered all over the mirror behind me, and like
it was so perfect.
Some girls feel like, unfortunately, those poor women.
It was phenomenal.
Dude, what's funny is it shocked me. So like we had to cut it just right because the outtake is like me going like, what the fuck? And her laughing her ass off because as soon as it happened, she started cracking up, and I had to edit it out because you could hear her just fucking wailing in the background.
Right.
It was really funny. It was actually a really funny thing.
It was fucking hilarious.
I don't do those type of ad spots too much anymore because they take too fucking long to shoot.
Yeah. Well, you writing literally like putting together a funny script for 2 people in reality is a fucking
and having
is
to
a
be
lot.
both of those people and like frame it right
lot.
so it doesn't look weird and like it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure.
It does. It takes a good amount of time, which is why now I just kind of do more standard, you know.
Sure.
Because let's be honest, most time people skip that shit anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's it. See this, and that's kind of like how I think in my brain, like that's how we approach it is if we like it, like we worked with, I don't even remember the name. It's a Cologne brand. And we worked with them because Sean loved it. Sean, like we got samples. Sean likes Cologne. Sean loved the product. And I'm like, I don't wear Cologne. I don't care.
Which
but if you want, who was it?
Yeah.
Husk and Muscle. That's what it was. Husk and Muscle.
Oh yeah.
They're really
I got a funny. I won't tell a story about that, but I've got a funny story about that.
Pissed at us. So anyways, but
not that. Just there's a funny story that I'll tell you off line about that it made me laugh. It was something to do with Taylor, and it was really funny. And I was like, oh, dude,
Sean loved it. She's still so the funny part is Sean wears it all.
Really?
I don't work. No, I just shower, dude. I don't.
Okay.
I don't even
Here's
understand
the
the need
This is actually
for
good
it.
to get the chat involved because we've been ignoring the chat. Do you guys normally talk to your chat people more, don't you?
Well, when we don't have guests on, like if you and I are shooting the shit, then I like look through it, and then if I see something I highlighted or whatever, but otherwise we just hang out. But if it's Sean and I, then
this would be a question for the chat because I'd be curious. How many guys wear cologne and how many guys think that it's a no-go? Because I know some guys.
We can poll this. I think I can just do a poll. Let's do that.
I would be curious because I wear cologne. I really like cologne. I have a huge cologne collection. I enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoy smelling good. Like I like it. My wife likes it, you know. But there are some guys that don't. They're like, I like to shower and that's it. There's definitely a line there, right? Like with smelling like a French hooer. You don't want to like be choking people out. You don't want to put it on. You don't want to be those guys you have so much cologne on that like when you walk into a room, people are like eyes are watering and shit. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that guy. But I like to smell good. So no, I wear cologne every single day.
Dude, hold on.
What?
Dwayne Johnson said, I barely shower. Like, holy shit. Oh, that's funny as hell.
Yeah, see, ladies love cologne. There's some, and that's what I have found. I started wearing cologne very young because I found that when I was younger, women would always comment that I smelled good. And it seemed to be a popular thing with the ladies. And I'm like, why would I not do something that I like the way it smells and it's attracting more women?
That's really interesting. I probably should just have asked my wife rather than like just decided myself, huh?
I'm sure there are some women out there that don't like it, you know, just like anything else. Some women don't like beards, right?
I know, but the thing is cologne's not for you. It's for the people around. It's like a fucking breath mint. Like a breath mint's not for you. It's for
both though, because like throughout the day, I'll catch a whiff of it. I'm like, oh yeah, that smells good. Like I enjoy it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. It is more because you do tend to go nose blind to it after a while, just because you smell it all the time. So it is more for other people really than for, you know, you. But
dude, we have almost it is a 50-50 poll right now, swear to God.
And that's kind of where I thought it would land because I've noticed there isn't like a real strong one way or the other. About half the guys I talk to are like, no, man, I take a shower and that's all. And then the other half are like, no, I like smelling good. I like to wear cologne. My wife likes it. My girlfriend likes it, blah, blah, blah. So it seems to be about a fit from what I've experienced. So I was curious to see but yeah, that's interesting. An interesting data point.
Yeah, that's that. And now it's 51.
Hey, somebody said Drakkar Noir is king. Let me tell you something. Drakkar Noir back in the day, Drakkar Noir was the shit. Okay. I don't have it anymore, but back in the day, in like the 90s, get the fuck out of here. That and Cool Water. Come on, son. Had on some Cool Water. You were fucking pulling more wool than a sheep factory. I don't even want to hear it.
Dude, you know what I wore in high school? Because it was like the thing. It was Curve cologne.
Yeah, I remember when Curve. See, I'm older than you, so I was much older when Curve.
Sure,
yeah. I remember when Curve made its swath through, and you smelled it. Every club you went in, it just smelled like fucking Curve.
100%. I didn't know people collected cologne. How interesting! It's like Anchorman, dude.
Yeah, dude. I got like 30 bottles, I guess.
Man, that's wild. It's about, I mean, it's back to 50-50. That's a 50-50 poll right there.
And some of it gets really expensive, like your Creeds and your Armoises and some of your more niche brands of cologne. I mean, you know, they get up into $300, $400, or $500 a bottle. I mean, some of that shit gets expensive.
Yeah, I don't know shit about cologne. I should have asked her. That's so crazy. It never crossed my mind until you and I were just talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should have just been like, hey.
Somebody said cologne is so Jersey Shore. See, that's like the guys who wear too much of it, right? Like if you overspray and you get so strong that you're choking everybody out, somebody should be within like a foot of you to smell it, right? Like if they're 8 feet away and they can smell your cologne, you might have a little too much on. You know, like now if you walk by somebody, sometimes it leaves a little like trail. But yeah, if you're choking people out, then you should definitely back the sprays up a little bit. Yeah, see, 2 squirts. That's usually what I do. I usually do 2, 1 on each side.
It's so interesting. I don't know, dude. Dan's favorite scent is Sabaro pepperoni, says Bo with the super chat. Bo, why don't you fuck yourself, Chief? You know what I mean? How about that? Why don't you take that Sabaro pepperoni and shove it up your ass, dude?
That's pretty good.
Have you ever had Sabaro pizza?
Yeah, it's the stuff that used to be in the fucking
it's like mall
the food courts pizza in the mall.
Do you like it?
It used to be my favorite pizza when I was like a teenager.
Let's go, dude. That's what I'm talking about. We just recently got one at a gas station down the road. So
and I have gone pizza bougie. Like,
okay, here I'm with you on pizza bougie. I'm 100% with you. The problem is there is a convenience factor because I don't live near things, right? So pizza bougie is a 45 to an hour round trip drive. No.
I don't mean pizza bougie like go out somewhere nice and get pizza. I mean, I've gotten pizza bougie because I have a pizza oven in my backyard.
Oh my gosh, of course you do.
And like I make my own dough, and like you get the natural casing pepperonis, so they cup up and they get the little crispy edges.
Okay, wait, cup pepperonis? There's no better pizza topping.
Yeah, dude, what it is
cupped pepperonis.
It's like the Boar's Head natural casing pepperonis. If you get those and you put them under high heat in like a wood-fired pizza oven, they cup and then they get the little crispy edges. That's why I said I've gone a little pizza bougie. Like I make those at home, and now when I get like other pizza, I'm like, this is fucking garbage.
Yeah, that makes that tracks though.
Yeah.
Damn. Dude, you know what I was just telling Ricky about today? That Traeger flat top, like the black top or whatever those things are called. Yeah. That thing you just got, that thing looks fucking awesome.
Bro, let me tell you something. Between the fucking deep fryer I just bought and
dude,
the goddamn
400 pounds
with that, I'm telling you, and the Traeger flat top and the bougie pizzas and all the shit. I am fatter than I've ever been in my entire life, bro. Like,
no,
my pants are tight. I can't even fucking appendix carry my gun anymore in the front because my belly's in the fucking way. I had to go to 3 o'clock on the carry because the fucking stomach's too big. I've got to lose some weight, bro. Like it's between the deep fryer, and to make it even worse, we were like deep frying, making our own French fries and deep frying them in lard because they're better in lard because they get all crunchy and awesome. Yeah, dude. Between that and then like just crushing like every breakfast food imaginable on the fucking flat top and doing smash burgers like every other day.
Oh, dude.
With the offcuts,
we bought a Traeger.
Do you ever do
we
brisket?
Bought a Traeger. Ricky, dude. Okay, I'm the fucking worst, man. I'm not. You know how like people are like man shit, and like you say that, you know, man shit, and then they're like you can probably like grill because you're a dude, and then I'm like no, not at all. I will ruin.
You're like
every
whiskey,
piece of meat we put on the Traeger.
I like guns. That's my guy shit.
Yeah. And I like knives, you know, but I can make burgers well. I can't make almost any other meat correctly. So, but the huge benefit, because Ricky's like a motherfucker when it comes to that shit. So,
is she?
Ricky like smoked some, I think it was Ricky did like a pork butt like a month or so ago, like a big one It turned out amazing. She just went and bought, I think, some shoulder or something like that. It's in our fridge. I don't even know what it is.
That's pork butt.
But she
pork butt's the shoulder.
can do the damn thing.
People think that it's a butt because it's called pork butt. It's the shoulder of the pig. Yeah.
Yeah. Weirdly, in theory, you'd call it the shoulder. What the fuck is that naming scheme?
Yeah, I don't know why they call pork butt.
Why do they call it?
It's absolutely not the butt. It's the shoulder.
What the hell? Dude, I've been alive for however long now, and I swear to God, I just heard that for the first time.
The butt is the ham, right? The ham is like that back leg.
Are you serious?
You would kind of call it like a butt cheek, kind of on a hog. That's like a ham. The front shoulder is the butt. I'm almost positive, like 90% sure.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's actually wild. Interesting, dude.
Yeah.
I think so. Supposedly my internet's taking a shit. It does that.
It did for a second.
In the middle.
Like it's got.
Did it get better?
It's better for me. You were real Lego-y for a second. I started during streams running a hard wire because I got tired of like the fucking Wi-Fi dipping in and out. So I just started running a fucking Cat 5 cable to my damn internet connection and hooking it into my computer. Yeah. So I'm hooking it like 900 and some megabytes per second.
Oh, you can fuck yourself, dude. Here's the problem. The problem with this whole thing is I have an ISP, and the ISP's name is Parish Communications, right?
I thought you were saying Billy Bob's ISP.
It is their business, I swear to God, is about a double wide with a satellite in front of it. And I'm for real, like dead serious. So we're Charter or Spectrum bought them out like 4 months ago. We're in the middle of the transition from us going from Parish Communications to Charter to Spectrum. Mm-hmm. On Spectrum, I'm going to have like real internet. But lately my internet has been, I pay for 100 down and 10 up because that's the highest speeds they offer, period. Right? No matter what. I pay $120 a month for 100 down, 10 up. So,
oh, wow.
Charter, Charter's smallest package is like 500 down and 50 up or something now for $50 a month or something like that.
Yeah, mine's 1,024.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
I never get 1,024 if I'm being honest.
Of course.
Over Wi-Fi, I only get like 300 to 400 is normally what it averages. But when I hook in with the wire, it's like 800 to 900 normally.
So this whole building is on Ethernet, and it doesn't matter. The internet just goes out in the middle of the day. It's like, for real, it's crazy. So because we're in the middle of this transition, so Charter's out like upgrading equipment and changing lines and doing all that stuff. So we just lose internet.
All the what's that shit called?
Fiber
optic shit that runs all the high speed stuff.
Yeah. And the funny thing is when we move from Parish to Charter, we'll get a bump in speeds and our bill will be cut in half. Like it's just crazy, man. We have
somebody
a
said get Starlink. I'm convinced I'm convinced that is going to be that is going to be. You know what I'm going to say? What am I going to say?
And this sounds like the beginning of a conspiracy theory, dude.
It even sounds like it's Starlink.
I knew it.
Come on, like Skynet. That's like so close to the Terminator shit, bro.
I knew it.
It's so close to Skynet. That's how the whole fucking world ended. Why would they even name it something so close?
Dude, I knew it. I 100% knew it.
I'm just saying, bro.
The problem with Starlink is they keep talking about data capping it, and I can't have data caps because I like between streaming and uploading anything, like we blow through data. So I can't do Starlink. And then the other problem with Starlink is it's actually not in the area. So we'd have to get like the RV Starlink. Yeah. And it's
Starlink's really for people that live like literally in the middle of fucking nowhere. Right?
I'm pretty close to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you actually have other options. Like there are people like my brother-in-law where he lives, he doesn't have internet.
Yeah.
Like he has to get satellite because there isn't an internet provider where he lives. Like period.
Yeah.
Right?
So when we bought this house, there was no internet, and we paid $5,000 for the run to get it here. And it's just gone to shit.
It was 4 megabytes per second.
Yeah. Well, so when they initially hooked us up, it was 25 or 50 down and 5 up.
Yeah. That's
and it was like,
horrible.
This is like AOL
But 10 years ago, that wasn't horrible, right?
But we've owned this house for 3 years.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Fucking scratch that.
But 3 years ago, Charter and Comcast were like, we have gigabit. And Parrish is like, we almost have 100 meg, dude. We're getting close.
Our dial-up is getting way fucking better, okay?
Yeah, 100%. But
there's our RecTech. There's the RecTech crew. Anytime you talk about Traeger, you're going to have the RecTech guys. There it is.
We bought a Traeger. We got like a Costco Traeger because Traeger and Costco put together a deal or something. Yep. Mm-hmm. We went into a Costco. We just got a Costco in town like a year ago. We went into Costco. There were Traegers. Ricky wanted a Traeger. I was like, that's a damn good deal for a Traeger, honestly. So
here's my thing. Our RecTech's good. Probably. I've never used one, but from what I can see and people that I've talked to, they're great, right?
Wait, what's RecTech?
It's a different brand of pellet grill.
Oh, is it is it the equivalent to like, I know Pit Boss. Is it just another Pit Boss?
It's probably like about the same, like as far as like price point wise and stuff is like Traeger, right?
Yes.
Now, some people would argue one back and forth, whatever, but like, and some of the newer Pit Bosses are nice, right? But like originally Pit Boss was like a more budget kind of brand, and then your Traegers and your RecTechs, and like then your Yoders are even more expensive than Traegers. Like Yoders are like super expensive. And there's a few other brands out there that do it, but I'm sure I had a Pit Boss for years. I loved it, right? I had no problems with the Pit Boss. I had it, ran fine. It did everything I needed it to do. I've had several Traegers now. They've all been fantastic. I'm sure RecTechs are great. I know for a fact Yoders are great. They're all good, man. It just depends on which one has the bells and whistles that make more sense to you. All these some people get real like team oriented with like,
of course, yeah.
And I'm like, but
you got your ride or dies, dude. It's the same with cars and whiskey and cigars and.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not. I'm like they're all. I've had a bunch of different ones, and they've all done a pretty good job. I will say the Traegers are nicer than my Pit Boss was.
Okay.
My Pit Boss served the purpose perfectly fine, but the Traegers are nicer. Like they have a lot more features and stuff, and all the Wi-Fi shit's nice and all that.
Dude, I don't know if there's anything better than like a butter-filled smash burger.
Smash burgers are.
I'm watching your fucking Traeger black top, whatever those things are called, video.
Yeah, smash burgers are fucking.
And I'm looking at that thing, and I'm like, dude, we might have to buy that. Like,
dude, you can do
everything.
You can do. I can easily do 12 smash burgers at one time.
Oh, dude,
easily.
You gotta see. The problem is I can eat 8. So
when I do smash burgers, I don't do them very big, right? Because I like them to smash thin so they get crunchy, and then I'll get a little pile of onions off to the side, and I'm letting those onions grill while I'm doing the burgers. Then you top them with onions, and dude. The key is the Martin's potato rolls, dude. You got to put them on Martin's potato hamburger buns. Martin's potato.
I've never even heard of Martin's.
You've never heard of Martin's? Bro?
Is that is it a Southern thing?
I don't know if it's.
I don't know.
Maybe
is it a Midwest
they use thing? In Texas, so I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat could let us know if Martin's is a Southern thing. I just know the Martin's potato buns, like the hamburger buns with the smash burger with some grilled onions on it, make you want to smack your mama. Dude, those things are on it, bro. They are on it.
Smash. So
I do them thin and I double stack them. I put 2 patties on each.
You have to. You gotta. You can't have a single smash burger. That's pointless. Like we're eating bread. My son
likes them single because he's not real big yet, and he likes
fair.
Single. But my oldest, he likes the double or even a triple.
Yeah. See, okay, so this is the thing. I can make burgers. I make way better burgers than Ricky. Like my burgers beat the shit out of Ricky's burgers, not even close. And she won't admit this, but I'm 100% correct. And breakfast, I actually like to make breakfast because eggs are great and easy to make. Hash browns great, easy to make. Like a lot of like breakfast stuff is like heavy butter, delicious ingredient, not super complicated, right? Now when it comes to like smoking and wrapping shit, like I watched you pour like a bunch of shit on ribs and I'm like, I don't even know why, when, how, where, none of it. Right. So, but
what sucks is the time you guys came down, those ribs didn't turn out.
I ate the shit out of those ribs. I don't know.
That was literally the first batch of ribs and probably the last 40 batches of ribs that I've made didn't turn out. And it was the one time you guys were down here. And I was like,
I enjoyed them, dude. I don't know. I ate a lot of those. I'm glad you liked them.
Dude, as long as you liked them, that's important. But is to where I normally liked them to be, they didn't land right.
Well, so my dad was like a big griller, but not a smoker, right? So
very different thing.
Very different. So when he retired, we went and bought him a Traeger. So because it was one of those things where it was like he loves it. Like every time we get the fam, they live 3 miles from me, and my sister lives like 3 miles in a different direction. So like our immediate family is all right here, right? So he like for every Father's Day and Mother's Day and like random Sundays and random freaking Wednesday nights or whatever, he's like, come over, I'm gonna make steaks and sausages and you know, ribs and whatever. So it was like, for when he retired, it was like, what can we buy him that he wouldn't buy himself, you know? So we ended up going to, I don't even remember where, but we bought him a Traeger, and I was trying to show him he hates technology, but I'm like, listen, for real, if you install the app on your phone, which I know you hate, but try it one time, right? But it was like, because even just for monitoring sake, dude.
Oh, it's great.
Now it's like ribs all the time, pork all the time, you know, because he likes that. He likes the process and all of that. But
that's my favorite thing about the app. Look, do you need the app to like start the grill and do this? And no, you don't. I mean, will the app do all that shit? Sure. And it's cool. And if you're super into that kind of stuff, it's great. And I think it's a huge plus. I just normally use it for monitoring, right? Yeah. So I can tell if my pellets are low. I can tell what's going on. I can make sure the temperature's okay. I can have a probe in the meat. And I don't have to go out to the grill every time. Like if I'm doing other shit, I can just pull up my phone and be like, yeah, we're good. You know what I mean? Super handy. Dude, I love my Traeger.
It's like, and I know it's a little different. Our Traeger, I can't remember what it goes up to, but our Traeger can still grill like a little bit.
I think they go up to like generally like 400 or 500 depending on the model you have.
Somewhere in there. And so it's like it can still grill if we need it to grill, but it smokes like a motherfucker, which is awesome. So
yeah, it really excels at that. The grilling, anytime I got a grill, I normally bust out like my actual grill. The grilling, it doesn't, there's something about the Traeger that it just doesn't get you the same texture that grilling does.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, you can't sear anything like not the same, but
now you can put like an iron skillet in there and get it real hot and do it that way. But at that point, it's just easier just to use a fucking iron skillet, or just a lot of times I'll just crank on my grill real quick and throw them on the grill to finish them off. But tell you what we had the other night, which is this has turned into a foodie podcast.
It has.
Okay. But that's because I've been on fat fuck mode for like the last like several months.
Have you had your labs done? Because I just had that. They were like, hey, man, maybe eat a fucking vegetable while you're out. You know what I mean?
Like, I know they would tell me, they'd be like, look, your blood's basically a solid.
It's not good, man.
You don't need to buy frying oil because you can just put some of your blood in there. It's basically fucking Crisco, you fat ass. Like, calm down. What we did the other night is my favorite is we smoked wings, like buffalo wings. But the problem with smoking wings is the skin ends up a little rubbery, right? Because it's not hot enough. Even if you crank the heat way up at the end, it's still not.
It's not the same. Yeah,
it's not as good as fried. So what you do is you smoke them for like an hour to get them good and smoky and get the flavor, and then you flash fry them for like just a couple minutes at the end. So you have the best of both worlds. You have the smoky flavor with the crispy, crunchy fried skin.
Oh, dude, this just got way fatter, if I'm being honest.
Dude, it's so good.
Okay, hold on. But have you, because you bought a deep fryer, so that makes sense.
An outdoor like fucking Cajun, what's it called? A Cajun Classic? Bayou Classic? Bayou Classic. Yeah.
If you don't have a fryer at home though, you can smoke them and then air fry them.
Yeah, that would probably work.
And it's pretty solid. Like you still can create that crunch without overcook, like, and still leave them nice in the inside.
Right.
Like that's Ricky will.
You can also pan fry them, just get like
I'd rather air fry than pan fry, I think, honestly. Because it's quick.
I don't fry like super shallow. I mean, get like a pot and put like this much
grease
oil
in it.
You're still technically deep frying it, but you can just do it on your stove,
Yeah.
I always do it outside just because it stinks up your house. And
wait, what's the wildest thing you've deep fried?
I mean, nothing.
Have we done Oreos? Have we done ice cream?
No,
have we done
no. I haven't done any of that kind of crazy shit. Although I did see a recipe the other day online for these crispy apple pie French fries, and I was like, yes.
My gosh, dude, call my doctor and let's just get that written. Holy shit.
Yeah. So
dude, when's the last?
We haven't tried anything crazy.
When's the last time you went to a doctor and had labs done?
Longer than it should be, but not like scary long. Like probably like a couple years.
Mine before this year, I just went and did it, right? And I was like, these are preventative labs. I just want to know what's going on. Like, I don't want to be on like a shit ton of medication and like later. So like, let's do some
labs and find out your cholesterol 600 and you're like, holy shit.
So let's do some preventative labs, right?
Right.
So I go get a family doctor and we schedule the labs and I get the labs back and I'm like, dude, my liver and kidneys, I don't know, right? Like this is a question mark, 100%.
This could be an issue.
I don't know. And if it is an issue, then we'll calm it down a little, right? So they go
probably fine though, right?
Dude, my liver and kidneys are fucking killing it right now. Like both of them. They were doctor, like I go through like the portal, or we have like a portal, we can go look at all our labs. Do you know the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I never really watched it much, but I definitely know the show, and I've seen like clips from it and stuff, and everybody talks about it being hilarious.
Okay, so the three main
welcome to diabetes junkies.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's diabetes. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Remember that guy that used diabetes?
100%.
Diabetes supply. Okay, sorry, I totally derailed you. I apologize.
The old bald guy with the gray hair.
Yeah. Big mustache.
Yes, 100%. So It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia guys, obviously all famous and wealthy in LA, whatever, right? Well, one of them has like the most sought after doctor on the planet, or in America, we'll say. Mm-hmm. So he's like keeps up on all his shit. He like is keeping all these really old, very famous, very rich people alive. Very great. So anyways, they did a podcast. They do a podcast, the three main guys from the show. They did a podcast with that doctor. They all had all of their labs done to see who was the healthiest as a competition.
Who was the healthiest? The got to be the fit guy, right?
Dude, it was Charlie Day, which is like the least fit of the three of them.
Really?
Yeah, because all his blood shit checked out like perfectly, right? So the doctor came on, and what was really cool about the doctor was he went through everything that would be on, like if you go get your labs done, he goes through all of it and explains why they currently believe what they believe and what a normal range currently is for them.
Right.
You can just get your labs done and watch this fucking podcast and like check shit. It's honestly, it's really cool. Like from a provided service standpoint.
All my labs have always been okay, except my cholesterol has always been like, it's never been high, but it's always been toward the high end of normal.
Sure.
Right. So like, it was always in like the 180, like anything over 200 they used to say is like considered high, and mine was always like 180, 190, right? So it was always on the high end of normal, but high cholesterol kind of runs in my family, so I don't know if that's just like a hereditary thing that I'm going to fight with a little bit throughout. But they also say, 20 years ago they said eggs are bad for you. Now they say they're not, and they used to say that butter was bad for you and you should eat margarine, and they came out that margarine is fucking killing people quicker than that. You should just eat butter, and it's like, well, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want to do, and when I go, I go.
That's fair, dude. If I could somehow find that mentality, that'd be beautiful. Unfortunately, I have this really unhealthy fear of death and like loss, right? Like really
I've got
unhealthy.
cancer at least once a month.
Yeah, exactly. So I went and got my labs done, and then I watched it for real. Like, if for people in chat who give a shit, you can go watch the podcast. It's just, if you Google like It's Always Sunny with Dr. what, I don't know his name, but if you Google It's Always Sunny with the doctor, it'll pop up, I'm sure. But he goes through and he's like, we used to think this, and then we thought that was wrong. So now we think that, which what's nice, point,
right?
But what's nice about it is he gives you the disclaimer of, we think this, but we don't know that, right? Like in theory right now, your good range would be here, we think. And we think that because of these things.
Right. We think in 2 years we'll change that. But right now, this is what we think.
But dude, when you normally go to a doctor, they're like, you fat motherfucker, that you're going to die in 3 days. We need to do an emergency stint. You know what I mean? So like, it's kind of cool to see
I'm going to trigger some people while you're talking.
Are you using actual Zippo fluid?
Actual Zippo fluid.
Oh, that's okay.
Triggered.
I put on the thumbnail, it's you lighting a fucking cigar with a butane or a fucking blowtorch. So
triggered, dude. I do it all the time. People can eat my dick. Okay. I do it all the time. I like it. I think it tastes good. You know what? Doesn't bother me a bit. And 2 puffs after you light it, you don't taste it. Anybody who says you can's full of shit. That's my final verdict.
I'm with you on that. Alec Rubin from Alec Bradley lights his cigars with a Bic. So I mean, what are we doing?
But it's butane though.
Yeah, but butane has flavor, the same as a Zippo lighter has flavor.
It doesn't, right? Supposedly that's what the jet lighters use, butane, right? Because supposedly butane is like the most pure, flavorless way to like do it, right? My thing is like, and we've talked about this, I think before, is it's not that big of a difference, man.
Right.
It's just not. Like, I smoke more cigars than I guarantee you 99.9% of the people that raise shit about and say how it taints the palate. And I'm telling you, yes, while you're puffing on it and you're using the Zippo, yeah, you can taste it. 3 puffs later, the flavor is completely back to normal. Like it doesn't like live in the cigar forever.
But the people who bitch about it just don't have anything else to do. So
that's true.
Like, it's like people who are like, you drank whiskey out of that bottle. Are you fucking serious, dude? What happens when I never come to your house because I didn't pay for that and I want to drink it for free? Like, every time, dude, it's bullshit.
Dude, I've had people comment on my videos, and I mean, you had it in your thumbnail. I use a map torch in my garage all the time to light cigars.
Yeah,
I had somebody see me light a cigar with a Zippo one time and say that they were unfollowing me because how are they supposed to take my cigar review seriously when I was lighting cigars with a Zippo? And I'm like, you know what? If you take shit that seriously, you probably shouldn't follow me.
That's actually that's the correct response. My response is always. Like, we don't take it as seriously as you're saying you should take us. So that's a you problem. This is not a me problem, man. I don't have a problem. You have a problem.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I've lit cigars with torches, like actual, like fucking torches, MAP and propane. I've lit them with Zippos. I've lit it with fucking campfires. Anything that gets hot enough to combust, I've used to light a cigar. And let me tell you what I figured out. None of it fucking matters. Okay. If it lights tobacco, go on.
Dude. Oh, dude. Okay, hold on. I have to finish my thought though. So I'm going through my labs. Kidney's good, liver good, right? Platelets are good, clotting is good. Fucking vitamin, no deficiencies, nothing. Everything's blood pressure, great. Heartbeat, heart rate, whatever, good. All this shit's good.
Semen level in your stomach, unusually high, though.
I'm weirdly high, but I warned them before the lab about that. But my LDL's way too high, which is a cholesterol. One of your cholesterols. You have like the HDLs, you have total, you have HDLs, right. You have LDLs.
That always confused me because there's like good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and then combined.
HDL's good cholesterol, LDL's bad cholesterol. And you have total, and then you have like triglycerides, and then whatever. So my LDLs are like way high, like way too high. Like, hey man, I'm trying to live forever, basically. So fucking relax, type shit. Well, the problem is, I mentioned this earlier, but we got a Sbarro recently, and I was like full send on Sbarro for about 2 months.
I've been eating a metric shit ton of pepperoni,
buddy. There was a day.
I think it's technically a fat. I think it's not even a meat. I think it's considered a fat.
What? No, it's a red meat. What is wrong with it?
No, I'm serious. I think it's considered. I think it's a fat.
No way is this correct, dude. This is bro science.
I could be fucking blowing smoke on that. I'm not gonna say I'm 100% right. But I'm just saying, I think there is
a 1% chance that pepperoni is a fat. I want you to know that.
No, I'm going to say 50-50. I'm 50-50 on it. There's about a 50% chance that I'm right and a 50% chance I'm dead fucking wrong.
Well, so I was like, for the 2 months leading up to these labs, dude, one day I had Sbarro 3 times in one day. Like that's too much, right?
That's a lot.
And at nighttime, I get snacky and I eat cookies and like Swiss cake rolls and shit. Like it's not, and I haven't had a vegetable or a white meat in at least 6 months. So
here's the thing though, man. 60% of the time it works every time. No.
Yeah, fair point, dude. No. Well, so dude, now I'm just eating like white meat, fish, fucking
but here's the thing.
Vegetables.
See, this goes back to this whole thing about none of this shit makes any fucking sense, right? Because I've also heard of some people that go on the carnivore diet.
Sure.
And have like all these health benefits, and all they're doing is eating fucking meat all the time.
Sure.
Right? They're not eating any fucking vegetables. Now they're not eating like high processed food. Here's my thought.
Yeah, I think that's my problem. Yeah.
My thought is it doesn't fucking matter if it's red meat or white meat or high fat or fucking chicken or fish or fruits or vegetables or any of that shit. My thought is it's all the processed bullshit we eat that's the problem. I think if you
it's definitely part of it for sure.
I think if you shop the perimeter of the store, right? It doesn't matter what the fuck you eat as long as you shop the perimeter of the store. Stay away from the fucking Pop-Tarts, the Lucky Charms, the Twinkies, all the shit that has a shelf life of like 17,000 years.
Yeah, McDonald's, Sbarro.
Right. Eat fresh food, and I don't think it fucking matters. That's my personal opinion, and I'm 60% of the time I'm right every time.
I think that you have a point. I don't know that you're 100% right, but I do think that you're like mostly correct. Processed food is significantly worse than non-processed. Like, dude, I ate strawberries today, and I'm like, this is a good choice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I ate fucking like Ricky's gotten to making bread for some fucking reason.
Dude, homemade bread's delicious.
Holy fucking shit, man. We're about a year and a half into Ricky like making bread. She has starters. She's got a bunch of different shit going on, right? She literally, and we used to get bread from bakeries because Ricky was super into like fresh, like bakery bread rather than like, Wonder Bread or whatever.
It's so much better, dude. That's what we get. The only problem is it'll mold like
it goes immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so much better than like
shit, it's good, man.
Yeah, it's real good.
And you can eat it and not feel like shit. Like it's wild.
So this goes back to my point, right? And
yes. Yeah.
Of course, this is, I think somebody had commented, it's anecdotal, like at best. Like I this is bro science extreme, right? Like I have no fucking peer-reviewed studies to prove this. Like this is just me talking.
Right.
But like, for instance, pizza. I eat Sbarro, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a piece of shit.
100%.
My stomach feels weird. I feel all I feel gross.
Immediately using a bathroom. You know what I mean?
Immediately I'm shitting through a screen. Like I feel horrible. I got bubble guts. Like it's just bad all day, right? But when I make the dough from scratch, which by the way does not take that long and it's way better, and I make the sauce from scratch, which again, super easy. It's like 3 ingredients, and I shred some fresh mozzarella. And put some basil, or is it basil? What's on a margarita pizza? Is it basil?
I don't eat that shit, dude. What the fuck? What are we doing margarita pizzas?
Buddy, it's not like a margarita like tequila.
No, I know. Okay, hold on. Just, dude, no way did you think that first off, would I not be more, okay, I'm offended in like 7 different places right now. Do you not think I would be more into an alcohol pizza than a non-alcohol pizza? Number 1.
Okay,
number 2,
you got a point. Solid point. You're making sense.
Number 2, margarita pizza is the dumb pizza that they didn't cover the whole thing with cheese and there's too much sauce.
No, margarita pizza, man. I get some fresh mozzarella, right? You put a light little bit of fresh dough, little bit of sauce, some whole tomatoes, some fresh mozzarella. I put a good bit of it on there. So, I mean, it doesn't cover quite like the grated stuff, but I mean, it's mostly covered. And then a little bit of olive oil and somebody said some basil. And dude, it's delicious. It tastes fresh.
I believe that. Yeah.
It tastes good. I don't feel fucked up after I eat it. I can eat a whole pizza by myself and I feel like a champion after. So it goes back to, I don't think it's the food. Yeah. I think it's the processed bullshit because it's all made from scratch.
Buddy, I looked up like how to lower LDLs and shit. Like just foods. I just want foods, right? Like right. In theory, what would I eat rather than Sbarro and cookies, right? one of the things that they said not to eat specifically was frozen fucking pizza, which is basically Sbarro. So, oh, dude. Tom Burns said, found Jeremy through an old nope, I'm not. No.
Sorry. I know this is a whiskey podcast, but this is one of my or live streams. This is one of my favorite things to smoke with cigars, though. Or drink with cigars.
Smoke with cigars? What is that? What beer is it?
It's not beer.
Cream soda?
Dude, have you ever had
Dr. Brown's? Well, I've had cream soda is one of the best sodas.
Dude, cream soda or root beer with a cigar is fucking fantastic. Dude, they're both very good with a cigar. It's one of my
like cream soda a lot.
I had a whiskey, so now I'm gonna have a little having a little cream soda, and then I'll go back to whiskey.
So I'm looking, dude, I'm looking through
eating processed food, and I'm drinking a fucking cream soda, which is like 50% fucking
sugar,
water, 50%
just sugar,
high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. I do think there is like a lot behind the process bullshit, like 100%. Real quick, Tom Burns said, found Jeremy through an old coworker, Harry, and I'm not saying that. Tom thought he was going to get me. If I would have said it, the last name would be as crack. You know what I mean? If you want to put the words together. He said about 3 years ago, wish he uploaded more often. Tom, not even close, dude. Fucking nailed it.
Well, I think I've got that figured out. But anyway, I think things are. I've said this for 3 years, but I think I finally got it figured out.
Do you work with Manscaped yet? Because I think they help with that shit.
No. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a lot more live streams to kind of supplement in between videos so that there's more content out there.
Sure, that's fair. Big Vic said, cheers, Dan. Jeremy questions, are you going to do a cigar review again, bro? Question mark. Cheers. This thinger.
What was it? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Is it this? Oh, it's like hang 10. That's like what does this mean? It's not a gang sign. What is that? What's this? Like, what's up, dude? Like, this is a Hawaii thing.
Yeah. It's like hang loose, I think. It has a name.
Oh, that's what hang loose. I think you're right.
Yeah, but it has a name. I think I forgot what it is. But yes, I am. That's part of my solution because I've talked about this before. It's hard to do cigar content because YouTube hates it so bad. And you can't monetize it. You can't put ads on it. You can't do anything. So being that, we do YouTube for a living, I can't not do paying jobs for shit that's not getting paid. However, I don't want to stop doing cigar content because I love cigars. It's a huge part of my life. So I think what I'm going to start doing is start doing live streams because I can do them so much faster. It won't take quite so much time. So I think I'm going to start doing a lot of cigar live streams on the second channel. Not that I'm going to stop doing reviews altogether. I'm still going to do some like edited video reviews, but I think to keep content more regular on that channel, I'm going to start doing like maybe even weekly live streams over there on that channel where I tell people ahead of time what cigar I'm going to smoke. So that way they have time to get it in case they want to smoke along with me. And then they can smoke along with me in a live stream. We can review the cigar, talk about it. I can do the fancy camera angles and show the cigar all up close and stuff and, do all the things.
What camera? Okay, hold on. Do you have cameras? Well, you don't live stream now, though. So the cameras you have set up for these angles aren't going to stay where they're at then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not all the time because this is also my whiskey room and all this other stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, I'll have to take them up and down. But yeah, the plan is to keep them here because this is 2 cameras and I can get 3 angles with 2 cameras. So I have this angle, which is the main camera with a 24 millimeter lens. And then there's this one, which is at the 85 millimeter lens pointing down here. So I could show a close up. Yep. And then there's this one, which is actually the same, camera as this one, just cropped in and zoomed in like to 150%. So you get 3 angles with 2 cameras.
Yeah. So Whiskey Knife Fight, Ed Modlin said,
dude, me and Taylor have said 1,000,000 times we're going to, and our I mean, literally at least once every couple of weeks, we're like, hey, let's do one next week. Okay. And then he gets busier. I get busy. It's been like 6 months. It's not dead. We plan on doing more. It's just a matter of our schedules lining up is fucking near impossible.
Dude, do you want to come to Michigan in August?
I mean, I'd love to get out of Florida in August because it's fucking miserable here in August. So, I mean, depending on what's going on, maybe.
If you want to come to a meetup, we have one August 4th, 5th this year. Bourbon Junkies Pours in the Park 2023. Now, I say that knowing for 100% fact.
Shaka.
Shaka?
Yeah.
Like
Big Vic's backyard BS. Shaka bra. That's what I always hear people say when they do that. I don't know. That's the term.
That's really close to shocker, dude. I'm going to be honest.
No, dude, that's this.
I know.
Well, then there's the Spocker.
Oh, I've never heard of the Spocker before.
The Spocker. That's advanced. That's advanced.
Dude, I never thought somebody in their 80s would introduce me to a new sex move. You know what I mean?
There's a showstopper.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's a good name for that one.
Yeah, that's 1 in the pink, 3 in the stink. That's a showstopper.
Oh, gosh, dude. That's a lot of things. That's a lawsuit. That's like a criminal record. That's a lot of things, man.
That's at least a good solid slap or a kick in the groin.
Yeah, that's a shut the night down is what that is.
That's the end of your sex life for the day.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we're back in we're back in planning mode for Pours in the Park this year. And execute, get all the distilleries on board. Sean and I drove down and had a meeting for the VIP aspect of the event this year. And dude, it's going to be at a fucking sweet spot down in Detroit, which is awesome. And
I would love, it depends on how it lands, because that's about when my kids go back to school and stuff, and it could be tricky. But if I can, I'd love to. Yeah.
It's also across the country for you.
I might also be going to Scotland at some point this year.
Are you going with Trova?
No, with Scotch malt.
Oh, are you? That's cool.
They want to do this is early stages, so I don't even know how much of this I'm supposed to be talking about. Okay. But they want to do a distillery tour and a barrel pick with me over there.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
So we might go to Ardbeg or one of those distilleries and do a barrel pick. But it's like I said, it's very early stages. It could still flatline depending on budgets and other things. But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I obviously can't drive to you because that's
it's about 24 hours, buddy.
That's but I'd have to fly. But yeah, I'm if it doesn't land in the middle of some other kind of problem, I think that would be cool to come up and see you guys. And
it'd be fun as hell for sure. Dude, I almost spoiled some shit. Sean and I did some things and we're doing a thing. So something that chat does know about is we launched a whiskey brand, right? Or we're launching a whiskey brand, however you want to phrase that. But that's been, about 7 eternities in the making seemingly. But so one of the things that we're doing up here is some stuff with that. And that's why I was you and I had talked about some of the stuff that you wanted to launch on the phone. We probably talked about it 6-7 months ago or something. And then when I saw the thing with Brian from Pravada and he held up the box, I was like, holy shit, dude. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, man. It's pretty cool. I think it'll be cool. It's and I'm sure it's similar to what you're dealing with the whiskey. There's just a lot of steps. It's not as easy as people would think to just come out with a brand of a thing, especially a regulated thing, like anything in the tobacco or alcohol industry, because there's just a lot of red tape.
It's fucking miserable is the correct. It's the correct wording.
I'm fortunate in that. How's that sound with a nice little mic there?
That actually was good.
I'm fortunate in the fact that Brian is already deep into the industry and he's helping cut a lot of that red tape. Not cut it, but he already knows the paths and the people and all the things. So it makes it far less painful for me than if I was just starting from scratch and didn't know anything.
Yeah.
I have all the respect in the world from you guys, because trying to get people in the whiskey industry to tell you how to do shit is like trying to pull the fucking gold statue from the Temple of Doom. People do not want to give up that information. Right.
Yeah. If you just got to find the right people, when you find the people who believe in the rising tide aspect of everything.
It's just so tough to find those people sometimes, man. And I'm a firm believer in that. Me and you both are. We've talked about it a million times, because there's people like that in YouTube that are very protective of their audience and they're real weird about it. It's why?
Which is hilarious.
Out there. Yeah, I know. It's
which is fucking hilarious.
There's so many people. There's not one person that is going to find me and go, oh, I found Jeremy now, I'm going to go unsubscribe from the Bourbon Junkies.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, right? Nobody is going to be like, oh, Jeremy talked about these guys, the Bourbon Junkies, I'm going to go subscribe to them and unsubscribe from him. There's more than enough people for all of us, bro.
And my other favorite part on that topic is when you run into those people, when you talk to those people who act that way, right? And then you find out sometimes in sometimes it's completely unintentional. Sometimes what I'm about to say is completely intentional. When you find people who just rip people's shit off, like 100%, like,
right.
Let's just say shot for shot or word for word or whatever. Right. The funny thing is like, it's like people get offended about that. But then when you look at it in my mind, I'm like, listen, if you're going to rip it off, you better do it better. Right. Like it's one, if you're going to take something that's identical, then you better fucking do better than whoever you took it from. Right.
Well, what's funny is me and you have talked about this before, and there are some people out there that they try to rip it off and then they do a shittier job of it.
And it's off. Like when that happens, it's worst case scenario. Like you're not finding people that came to your channel and subbed. You're finding people that watched it once. Were like, fuck, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, dude, I saw this once and like the other people I watched do it just did it better. What the fuck?
I've always been a type of guy that I follow the whole rise and tide mentality. And I've always been a kind of person that, and I tell my kids this, I've always told my kids this, and it's cliche, but it's like one of the biggest rules of thumb. I think if everybody lived by, the world would be a better place. And that's just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Don't be a dick and treat people the way you want to be treated. And life is a lot better and easier, right?
Yeah.
Why am I going to be all cagey and weird and not want to share something with somebody that's an industry secret or whatever? When, somebody had to help me get up, like everybody needs a leg up. So it's like, I wouldn't want people doing that to me on my way up. So why am I going to do that to other people on their way up and vice versa? It's just, right. I don't get it, man. It's like, it's always better when everybody works together. There's plenty of people out there for everybody. There's plenty of views out there for everybody. There's plenty of people to drink bourbon out there. I mean, think about how much these goddamn distilleries can't even keep up with whiskey for the most part. Nevertheless, worry about people taking their fucking people. Like, who cares if you share the secrets on how to get a whiskey brand going? Like, it's not like you're going to sell less because of that. Like, you can't even keep the shit in stock.
Well, here's the other thing, and you mentioned it earlier with the cigar thing, but I think the other thing that comes into play is, hey man, like, so we're vlogging and publishing most of like us starting Virtue, right? So we're all of it's going to be on the internet, and listen, every fine detail isn't, because it's fucking tedious and annoying. And I've spent 1 million hours on a computer reading government documents, and I can just tell you how to read government documents, I guess, but you just fucking read them. I don't know. It's like, that's not sharing information. It's, you got to figure it out. But the thing that I look at is it's like why the exact reason Compass Box puts the blend on the back of the bottles, right? Do it. Try it. If you think there is, like, work your fucking ass off, man. It sucks. It's not fun. And hopefully someday it is fun. That's the goal, right? Right now it's not fun. And if you want to put in the amount of work that's been put into this journey, then you'll understand how fucking miserable it is. And hopefully you make it out too. But it does suck, even if you have all the answer. Brian from Pravada knows how to launch a cigar company. He's done it, right? Still fucking sucks to launch another one. Like,
well, and this is the other thing that we talked about, and we talked about this the other night on the live stream. Me and Brian did a little bit, which I think is kind of aggravating a little bit. Is I hate it when celebrities, and not that I'm a celebrity, so don't let me confuse that I'm comparing myself to a celebrity, because I'm absolutely not. But I don't like it when people get involved in a thing for the wrong reasons, right?
Right.
Like you and Sean want to make a whiskey brand because you guys fucking love whiskey, right? Don't get me wrong. You want to turn a profit. There's a lot of work involved.
Or it'll die. Yeah. I mean, honestly.
It'll die on the vine. But you got into it because you're passionate about it, right?
Yes.
I want to make a cigar brand because I smoke the fuck out of cigars. I'm passionate about cigars. I have a different approach on cigars than a lot of people because I'm not quite as hoity-toity about it as some people. Like, I'll light my cigar with a Zippo, and my thing is enjoy the cigar. Don't take it too fucking seriously. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be like cumbersome. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm getting into it because I enjoy it. What pisses me off is when people get into it and they slap their name on it, and they don't even have anything to do with it, and it's just a cash grab. I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
That's annoying to me.
You know how you know the difference? And some of it is like, dude, is my fucking internet out again? Hold on. It looks like it. Is my quality fucking horrendous right now?
It looks okay from my side.
Does it?
Well,
Okay.
I say that, but she just froze up. Looks like you were picking your nose.
Oh,
it froze when you were like this. It was like,
oh, dude. Gosh dang it. Hold on.
Better now. It's better now.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But so the way that I look at it from that perspective is it's one of those things with the brand. Eventually the consumer knows, right? Eventually the consumer knows if it was a cash grab or if it wasn't. Right. One of the big tells is we've been working on Virtue for 2 years, like literally, right?
Right.
If this were a cash grab, then we would have just found somebody to do everything for us and charge $150 to $300 a bottle off the rip right away. It didn't matter the sourcing, and we would have put it out, put our name on it, and hope for the best. I mean,
right.
If it's a cash grab, like the preparation or what happens behind the scenes is way different, right?
Right.
We don't have a fucking product out, and we spent like a metric shit ton of money on Virtue. But the point of Virtue is to outlive the YouTube channel. The point of Virtue is to last forever. I mean, the point is to be the next thing, right? And maybe the last thing from the standpoint of like a public eye perspective, right? But it's so easy to put out one bottle of whiskey if you have a name or a community or anything. But if you have some level of support, it's so easy to buy shitty ass whiskey, put it in a fucking cool glass bottle, dump it on the market for really high prices with crazy markup and leave. It is.
Right.
If you want it to be something that you have forever or you pass down, dude, if anybody wants to understand this, you go to Starlight in Indiana and you meet the fucking Hubers, the family, and you realize how damn beautiful it is that like this business has been in their family for decades, literally, and it's passed down, right? And then you realize like the current Blake and Christian who are working on everything now, it was passed down to their kids, right? From the dad. And the dad still works there and he works with his kids. And how fucking beautiful it is.
That's cool
to see that. And then you're like, this is not a cash grab. This is a fucking passion. This is a generational thing, you know?
And then you're like, Pig.
No, stop. No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know.
But
I think the guys at Whistle Pig are pretty passionate about their whiskey.
The people are great, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. I give them a hard time because I have really disliked a lot of their whiskey, but that is a very subjective thing, right?
Right.
Like, I give them a hard time because their whiskey is expensive and I have not liked most of their bottles. So I give them a hard time, but I actually, from what I've heard from you and other people, they're actually really good people that are very passionate about whiskey making and all that.
The people are great, without a doubt. The people are great. Listen, nobody likes anybody. We were just at Jack Daniels and Chris Fletcher is the master distiller there, right? Motherfucker of a distiller. Like his grandfather was a distiller at Jack Daniels. He's the head distiller, whatever. He stood there and he goes, listen, I'm not crazy enough to think that everybody's going to like every product I put on market. I'm not.
Right. Well, you can't.
And it was like that mentality is like that. And I know that's way easier said than done. Right. But
I mean,
that's the correct mentality. So
you really, I mean, obviously you want to try to put out something you think people are going to like, but you're never going to make everybody happy. There's always going to be people that don't like what you do. You know,
and there's going to be people who are ride or die for your shit. Right. Like that, both sides, but
you got to hope that at least the majority do, though. What you don't want to happen is put out something that 10% of the people like and 90% of the people don't.
You better hope
that's kind of a bummer.
You better hope those 10% of people have a lot of fucking money. Like,
right. But I mean, generally speaking, shit, even 50% or better.
Yeah.
You're doing okay. I mean, it means half the people like, I mean, with stuff like whiskey and shit, it's very subjective, right? I mean, you could always, and the other thing with whiskey that's sketchy is if you go too safe, it can be boring. Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to put out something boring that tastes like everything else on the market, but you don't want to go so crazy that you end up with something that like throws people off. So it's like that balance of coming out with something new and interesting, but also really good and appeals to a fairly broad audience.
Yeah.
It's a tightrope walk, brother.
There's also, there's room for, I truly believe there's room for both of them, right? You can do the volume product right? The volume product is where you make your money to do the shit you want, right? This is what I've learned. So
come out with like an 85, 90 proofer that's like easy and mass appealing.
Yeah. Jack Daniel's number 7 makes $1 kajillion a year, literally.
And then come out with your crazy one-offs that sometimes taste like hot dick.
Yeah, well, and then they do their heritage series. They do the Coy Hills and the fucking, the rye, the barrel proof rye. But Jack Daniel's number Woodfords. 7, dude, the Woodfords are fucking, hold on. The new one I got. Okay, my internet took a shit again because I can see it now. I'm going to fix it.
You're doing this.
I'm going to fix it, but it is going to disconnect me. So I'm going to have to come back. So give me 2 minutes to fix it.
Hold it down, son. I'll hold it down. I'm going to pull out the gun and get you demonetized.
All right. Dude, sounds good. Fucking end this shit. Let's go.
All right, guys. Just me and you guys. We're going to hold it down until Dan gets back. Let's see what the chat's saying here. About to ride or die in here. Man, my eyes. Does anybody in the chat feel me on when you get older, your eyes just fucking go? Like, it happened overnight. Like, I was okay, and then all of a sudden I was doing this shit where I was having to like back stuff away because I couldn't read, and it was like it happened literally overnight. It was very confusing. We can still hear Dan. Hopefully he's not pissing. Y'all remember that time he pissed on the chat and forgot to turn his mic off? You could hear him draining the old trouser snake. That's fucking great. Let's see. Great Traeger video. When does the flat top release? The flat top is out now. I think it's sold out on their website, but you might be able to get it at like your local shops. But I think it's out now, if I'm not mistaken. And thank you. I enjoyed that video. It was a fun one to make. Favorite store-bought barbecue sauce? I don't use a lot of store-bought sauce, really. I tend to like make my own a lot, or I'll use a store-bought and then I'll kind of doctor it up a little bit. Some of the Traeger sauces are actually really good. I tell you, I don't know about sauce, but Meat Church, I talk about him all the time. His rubs are fantastic. Just about every fucking rub that guy makes is dynamite. And I actually met Matt Pittman, the guy that owns Meat Church. I met him for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and he is a hell of a nice guy. So on top of the fact he makes killer rubs, he's a hell of a nice dude. Hey, Jeremy, nice seeing you on the stream again. Thank you, my friend. 30, that's a lot. See, here we go. I can't fucking see. I'm having to do the squint. Jeremy, did you put old glasses on? I've always worn contacts, but I just started wearing my contacts or my glasses more lately. I don't know. I get tired of contacts in and out. It gets annoying. So I've been just wearing the glasses lately. You handmade whiskey glasses coming. Handmade whiskey glasses. I've got more. Man, it's funny. When I first made those, some people gave me some shit for how much they cost because they are a little pricey, but they are handmade by this guy. And it takes them a long time to make them. They're a very crafted product. Now we can't keep them in stock. So apparently people must not have been too upset about it, but there should be more in stock. I think within the next couple weeks, I think. But if you go to Exclusive's website, you can click the wait list and they'll send out emails when more come in stock. But I think we're going to have more in stock sometime this month. He's back. Sorry, Dan. I was just answering questions in the chat while you were gone.
No, you're good, man. I think that I'm on a fucking mobile hotspot because hopefully it's better than my internet. That's where we're at right now.
That's hilarious that your mobile hotspot's quicker. Dude,
I got Verizon.
I still hear you. And we were talking about the time that you went and took a piss and forgot to turn your fucking mic off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Drained the old trouser snake on cam.
Yeah. Beautiful stream, dude. Beautiful stream.
That's fucking great. And then I was bitching about because I was trying to read comments in the chat and I was talking about how it just happened overnight. My eyes just went. Like when you get above 40. Yeah, it just goes. It's like all of a sudden one day I could see close up, and then the next day I had to start holding shit. You see people doing this and they're trying to hold it further. Like it just happens overnight, bro. It's just like one day it was fine, next day it wasn't. But anyway.
Okay, so when I went and had my physical, before I got my labs
did you get
done,
the old Dr. Jellyfinger?
No, buddy, I'm 30.
Well, you could have asked for it.
No, I'm not. I don't know that. I don't know how often I'm going to request that. You know what I mean? Like,
Doc, I think there's some problems going back there. If you could just check under the hood for me, that'd be great.
Real quick. I know it wasn't scheduled. Just thought while we were here.
Use two, please.
Yeah, I'm more dude. I will say, doctor, attractive young dude, good looking guy. Anyways, so the while I was there, she's like, we got to do an eye exam. I was like, perfect. My eyes are shit. Like, I'd love glasses. I'm going to look really cool in glasses. Like, I look way better if you put shit on my face that's not supposed to be on my face.
Why do you think I wear glasses and have a big beard? The
dude,
more of this shit I can cover up, the better.
If I could have a beard, oh my gosh, I'd look awesome. Dude, I would 100% be you if I could grow a beard. Like, without a doubt.
I don't want you guys to think I didn't think about you when I dropped that beard oil. I was going to send you guys some, but I just didn't figure it would be used. So, I mean, I'm not being mean when I say that. I just didn't want you to think I forgot about you. I actually did think, because when I was sending it out to my friends and stuff, when we released it, I was thinking of people to send stuff to.
Of course you were.
I thought about you guys. I think every time I drop something, I think about Dan and Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did I ever send you one of these?
Buddy, this is this is the most. So here's the thing. Now, you got mad at me because when you dropped your glasses, I went and bought one.
Yeah, dude, don't ever buy anything of mine. Just let me know. You guys have sent me a million bottles of whiskey. Like, just let me know.
Don't care. I wanted to support you and I liked the glass. So,
well, I appreciate that.
I've dropped that glass 2 times. One time on cement.
It didn't break.
Not even a fucking chip, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you. Dude, I'm telling you.
It's the best, dude. When we started working with Exclusive, I messaged Andrew. I'm like, we got to get a glass going. Like, stat. Like, I fucking love the glass, but
it's good. People gave me shit when I dropped that glass because of how
I gave you shit. You and me had a phone call about it, and I was like, fuck, man. Like, that's hard.
But I mean,
I have one and I fucking love it, and I beat the shit out of it, and it's still alive. So I don't know.
It's a thing. And you know, me and you have talked about this, right? Either you can have something handmade, handcrafted in the United States and it's going to be expensive.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You can have something factory made overseas and it's going to be cheap. You can't have both, right?
Dude,
it's either going to be factory made overseas for cheap or handmade in the United States for expensive. You can't have handmade in the United States for cheap. It's just not going to happen.
You can't. We did a bottle share bag, right?
Dude, by the way, fucking killed it, bro.
Did you think did you think it was the dumbest idea of all time?
No.
Like, honest?
I honestly did not think it was the dumbest idea ever. I thought it was a cool idea. I thought it was a little niche just because there's only a certain amount of people that need it, but I thought it was very cool. But you guys pulled it off even better than what I thought. Like, it is fucking amazing looking.
So we did the bottle share bag, and if that thing was made in America, it would have been like 5x the cost. Like,
I don't think people that have never done manufacturing type stuff understands how expensive it is to get stuff made in the US.
Yeah,
but
I didn't.
I like to support US manufacturing whenever I can. It doesn't make sense with every product because sometimes it prices things out to where nobody would buy it. Like, you might as well not even fucking do it because nobody would buy it. Yep. But anytime I can, I do. And usually when I do, I catch a little fucking slack for the price.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. There's a hand-blown glass. If people have seen like the process of blowing glass, it's fucking gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And it's so cool. And it's so intricate, right? It's so delicate. And it's like,
and they're all different because
they're all a little bit different. And it's so cool. But listen, if you mold a glass, it's cheaper. It just is. This is how the fuck it works. It's science, it's physics, it's whatever the fuck, you know. But
if they could make 10 glasses in 3 minutes, it's going to be cheaper than if it takes a guy 35 to make one glass. There's
a reason that your glass is like a pound, right? And a normal glass is like 4 ounces or whatever, right? Like,
exactly.
But the problem with glasses, you and I had this conversation on the phone real quick. Ophidian 1965 said, Dan, you guys should do a YouTube videos. You guys bloopers. There are many like peeing on stream. It would be comedy gold. So we used to upload our bloopers to Patreon. And eventually we will start doing like behind the scenes on Patreon again. We just aren't right now. But thank you for super chat, buddy. When you and I had this conversation on the phone, the reason that the glasses are difficult is because there's a direct comparison at a different price point. Without you having it in your hand and seeing it, and this is big for the glass thing. Seeing that process, seeing the fucking process, and I went and shot B-roll for we have some friends up here that are like always around the channel, part of the channel, but Chris and Brandon Sprague, we call them the Spragoos. They own a glass blowing shop up here, which is how we learned about it, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy to watch that stuff.
And how what like a good glass blower is fucking wild, dude.
Dude, it's wild.
So Chris and Brandon, we actually had a bunch of these like mini Glens made for like events. So if you go to an event, it's like an ounce completely full, right?
Right.
We had some of those made for an event we went to. They hand blew. I say mouth blown, but they mouth blew all of them. Every one of them.
They mouth blew.
Well, I don't know why they call it hand. That's not. It's literally blown with their mouth.
They're literally like. But you know what's funny is I've seen some like glasses that have been marketed online as hand blown.
Yeah,
and
it's bullshit, is what it is.
And they all are identical. They are all identical size, identical everything, and they're selling them for like a set of 4 for $20. And I'm like, there's no fucking way that's hand blown. First off, when there's a artisan doing that, no matter how good they are, there are going to be slight differences in every glass because it's a handmade product. It's not made in like a mold with a fucking machine. Yeah, it's a guy fucking twisting this thing and doing all this.
Okay, hold on. Whoa, you did the double that?
I did do the double.
That's a different website. That's a whole different industry, dude.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I shot a whole video on blowing glass, and there was never a double twist in there ever.
There was never a double twist. Maybe that was another part that I was confusing. I was confusing something totally different.
Confusing two industries into one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's such a cool thing. Now what makes it difficult with glass is, so this is you mentioned you like the Whiskeys a lot. This is my favorite glass for like normal drinking. So this is an aged or neat glass is what this is. So this is, this one's an older one, but the new ones have a heavier base on them, right? They're like it's like you mix a Glencairn. It's like a mix between a rocks glass and a Glen. Yes, 100%. They're the fucking best. And the guys that run Aged or are like the coolest dudes on planet Earth. So, but the reason I like this is because it's not so chintzy or whatever word you want to use, right? It's not so thin or doesn't feel cheap. It's still a molded glass, right? So they're still like, I think they're like 18 a glass or something like that, but they're great glasses. And when you get into mold, like I think that our glass with exclusive, I believe, is going to end up being a molded glass with like a shit ton of revisions on it in smaller orders. So it's not like Glencairns are like $10 a glass or something like that.
Right.
Ours isn't going to be 10 because we're not ordering 4 kajillion of them at one time, but it'll be a molded glass that we picked the shape and designed the glass out of. That being said, your glass, your fucking mouth blown glass is a motherfuck. That glass ashtray, nobody, unless people have it in chat, they have no idea that thing weighs 4 fucking pounds.
Dude, this thing is so hard to pick up with one hand. It's like,
this
so
was
solid.
That was the first item. I was like, I messaged and I'm like, listen, I'm 100% willing to pay for it, but if they sell out, I need to make sure I get one. Like, no matter what, I have to get one of these fucking single ashtrays. It's the same idea though. I'm something really nice and heavy and a heft and a fucking. Dude, there's quality built into weight. It just is what it is, right? Like,
for sure. I don't know. I think the glasses you guys are going to come out with will be dope. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to switch to this angle and fuck you up. I was just pouring a different one, so I wanted to show everybody.
You got to pour orange juice in that, dude. It's the best fucking mixed drink of all time.
Dude, how good is this fucking whiskey, though?
It's fine by itself. With orange juice, it's phenomenal.
It's fine? Fine? Did you just say fine?
It tastes like a cocktail.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's fucking great.
Oh, no. We're on some basic bitch shit, dude. Here we go.
It is great with a cigar because I found that the real sweet whiskeys are really good with cigars, right? Because there's a nice juxtaposition or whatever the fucking word is that it's a balance, right? It's like the yin and yang. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking beautiful thing. I think it's one of the reasons why rum is so good with cigars, right? Because
Sure.
rum is generally really sweet, and obviously it's rum cast bourbon. So
Yeah. Rye.
When I'm drinking just whiskey without a cigar, which isn't very often, there are lots of stuff that's great, right? But man, when I'm smoking a cigar, I really tend to lean into the sweeter whiskeys. I think they're really good with the cigar.
Okay, hold on. And just hear me out before you completely shoot it down. If you're ever, this doesn't apply to you at all. It has to do with airplanes. All right, chat, listen. If you ever are in an airport in the morning time and hungover or just want to drink, whichever, I don't care which. If you get Angel's Envy Rye with orange juice, just get a glass of orange juice, 2 shots of Angel's Envy Rye in it. It'll change your whole fucking life. Swear to God.
Is it crazy. That good?
Buddy, imagine drinking, and I don't mean this in a gross way. I mean this in a happy way.
It's like a Kentucky screwdriver.
Imagine drinking like maple syrup on pancakes with citrus. It's fucking phenomenal.
Wow. Yeah, that does sound pretty good.
So we were at an airport. They brought me a shot. I asked for an orange juice. We were hungover. I asked for an orange juice and I asked for an Angel's Envy Rye, and they both showed up, and I'm like, fuck it. And I just dumped it in. And I swear to God, I will, if I ever order a drink in an airport and those are options, I'm 100% going that route.
So you're telling me this was an accidental find?
It was fuck it. Yeah.
And then you drank it and you were like, holy shit, what have I fucking found?
It's literally a cocktail, right? Because it's a drink, it's a juice with a
screwdriver is just what? Orange
vodka and
right?
that. Yeah. It's better. It's way better than a screwdriver, and it's not close. Mind you, it's more expensive because Angel's Envy Rye is like $100. But
you know what's pretty good is a salty dog. You ever had a salty dog?
No.
If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I've had one, but I think it's vodka and grapefruit juice with salt around the rim of the glass.
I don't like grapefruits though. Do you like grapefruits?
I'm not a huge grapefruit guy either, but there's something about the grapefruit juice with the vodka and the salt. It's like it's a whole vibe. Yeah.
That's super interesting.
I mean, if you hate grapefruit juice, you might not like it, but I'm not generally a huge fan of grapefruit juice. I don't hate grapefruit juice. I'm just not a huge fan, but I do like a salty dog.
I don't know if I've ever had grapefruit juice. I don't like grapefruits. Like
grapefruits are kind of weird, right?
They're tart and sour, and I don't like that.
Yeah. Grapefruits are it's a weird fruit because it looks delicious. And it smells good.
Yeah. It looks like a cool orange. Yeah. And it's not a cool orange. It's a shitty orange.
But back to the other thing, I'm excited about your glass, dude. I think the glass is going to be good, and I don't think anybody's come out with any glass like that.
I think we combined 4 features from different. So we did the same thing with the bag, right? So there are other bags like this. Luke, I have not seen Sunny D seltzers, but I'm sold,
dude. Yeah, I saw something on the social medias about the Sunny D seltzers. Like it's like Sunny D came out with an alcoholic beverage.
Everybody's doing it. Mountain Dew did it. Everybody's doing it.
Here's the thing, man. I'm not
a seltzer guy.
I'm not into any of that shit. Like
some seltzers are freaking tasty, dude.
95% of the time, I'm just drinking whiskey straight. Sometimes with ice, and then occasionally I get in the mood for cocktails. I'll have like a old fashioned, or maybe like a Paloma. Have you ever had a Paloma? It's a
Palomas are solid. Yeah,
Paloma.
Only at restaurants. I've never made a Paloma.
I tend to drink cocktails more in the summer when it's hot.
Yeah.
And in the winter and the fall, I like the whiskey. Just give me the whiskey.
You know what I like in the summer? Like you guys have fake winter, right? We have real winter.
Sure have fake winter.
So in the real winter, we're like, fucking send me daddy on barrel proof whiskey, right? Like, put it rye, barrel proof whiskey, all like 6 months of the year type shit. Yep. Now, that being said, summertime whiskey, it's really hard to beat low proofers and Canadian whiskey in the summertime.
You know, I've never found a Canadian whiskey that I care for. And I hate that because I have so many friends in Canada, and there's so many great people in Canada. I really love the people up there. But I
gotta send.
I've heard that they keep most of the good Canadian whiskey in Canada, and they send us a lot of bullshit.
That's true. I gotta send you. Okay, the next time are you going to do live streams in the future, you're saying?
Yeah, dude, I'm going to start cranking out the live streams because I want to do content more often, but because I'm a one-man show, it's impossible for me to get out more than one video a week at best.
Sure.
So I figure live streams are a good way for me to supplement and put out more content and with the time that I have.
Okay. So I'm going to send you can do it on whenever you want, but you can do it on a live stream. I'm going to send you what I think are like phenomenal Canadian whiskeys.
Okay.
And they're not, okay. Now full transparency, like we got them from people in Canada, right? So they're
not something you can get here.
You're not going to buy them here, but you can drink different shit, right? So,
well, and that's what I've been told, because every time I say that I'm like, Canadian whiskey, they're like, yeah, man, it's just because you guys don't get the good stuff down there.
Yeah.
So apparently there is good stuff around.
There used to be my favorite, like some of my favorite ryes, maybe like a top 10 rye, something like that. Lot 40 is a brand, a Canadian brand. It's Canadian whiskey. And here, what we get for Lot 40 is like an 80 proof or a 90 proof Lot 40. It's like $30. It's really cheap, something like that. They made these age state cast strength whiskeys like years ago. We have a 12-year Lot 40 cast strength and a 11-year Lot 40. And then they've recently moved to non-age stating them. So, but dude, and you can't buy them anymore, even probably in Canada, just because it was so long ago that they were on shelves. They're ryes, so you gotta keep that in mind. But they're fucking phenomenal, dude.
Dude, can I? I don't think my wife is still watching this live. She said she was going to watch a little bit, but she's probably still not watching. But can I just say, I'm extremely proud of the wife. She
getting into whiskey,
dude. She drinks more whiskey than I do.
Are you serious?
She puts the I have to like hide whiskey. She goes through Sagamore like a fucking like a lush. I mean, she just goes through the bottles of Sagamore. She killed my entire fucking bottle of. And when she showed me the bottle, I was like, I have all these other bottles of Sagamore. Why did you have to drink that one? It was the what was it called? It was the one you guys did, the first pick you guys did, the fish oil, the fish
swordfish oil.
Swordfish oil.
Okay, hold the fuck on. You think that we called something fish juice? Dude, no. We're not moving past fish juice as a name.
I know it wasn't fucking fish juice, but I knew it would get the goddamn point across. Okay, I knew you would know what I was talking about,
buddy. I don't market as a profession, but in theory, I'm better at marketing than fucking fish juice, dude. Oh, that's the next sticker. The next pick is fish juice. Like it has to be.
You got to do fish juice.
Holy shit.
She fucking crushed, dude, that bottle of fish oil. Fish juice. What the fuck is it called?
Okay, so
swordfish oil.
A really quick TLDR on like a too long didn't read. Do you know what TLDR stands for?
TLDR?
Oh, you're so old, dude. And I love you, but you are a boomer, dude.
TLDR. Isn't that like that show?
Too long didn't read is what it means. Okay.
What the fuck does that mean?
Too long didn't read. Like if I sent you like 4 paragraphs, somebody would give you like a TLDR that was like, this sums it up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I've never heard of that in my life.
Okay. So a too long didn't read. I was
born in the 70s.
Holy fuck. Oh my gosh, dude. That's crazy.
Just saying.
The why we named it swordfish oil was because I had this whole pitch of how we were going to launch a fish oil brand because I take fish oil, and we were going to launch it, but how we were going to make it different because there's a million fish oils on market is it was going to be swordfish oil. Now, as long as like 0.1% comes from a swordfish, we're fucking good.
Right.
So then, unfortunately, now every Sagamore pick we do, because Sagamore was the first pick we ever did, and it was right after this live stream that we talked about this. Every Sagamore we do now, we've done Swordfish Oil 1.0, which was like a vintage label. It looked like an old prescription bottle thing.
Right.
Swordfish Oil 2.0 was like a modern day. And we just named it Swordfish Oil 2.0. Now the next Sagamore pick we do will be Swordfish Oil 3.0. It'll be like futuristic and shit.
I mean, if you're talking about marketing, I think naming anything whiskey fish, probably just having fish in the title might not be the best.
I don't know, man. It sold out really fast.
No. You guys could name it fucking dick butter and it would sell because people know that, you know what I'm saying? You could literally be like, you could name it foreskin cream, foreskin cheese. You could name your next pick
no, not that one.
Cheese.
No, we couldn't do that one, dude. No. That one is not it.
I'm just saying. My point is, you guys could name it anything, but you were talking about from a marketing perspective, calling it fish juice would be bad.
Fish juice is different, dude. Fish juice, that's so fucking gross, dude.
See, right there. Brendan, I can't read. I can't read that far. He just said he'd buy it. I'm just saying. I can't
read. Right, but you can't use a sample size of one. Like this is more bro science than our conversation earlier was.
This is chat. Take a fucking poll. The next whiskey pick you guys do, you've got to name it the most atrocious fucking thing you could think of, and I guarantee you, it still sells out in no time.
Oh, and now the problem is I have to clip this live stream, and then I have to attach that so people know why it's called that, right?
Yeah.
Like.
Right.
So we have friends in the space. Grease and Will are their name. The podcast is the channel, right? They did a pick and they fucking called it this. Okay, to give it context at least, like Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend is like phenomenal whiskey,
delicious,
right? Amazing. Dalmore, was it Cigar Malt or whatever, is awesome. It's so good.
Very good, very good. I would still rather have the Magnus.
Yes, but. So like going off of like this cigar blend, let's call it marketing, they called it cigarette blend. And I saw that name and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like that's fucking rough as a name,
That's a rough name.
That hits different than cigar blend.
It hits very different because, and there's a funny thing about cigars, right? Like I smoke a ton of cigars in this room, right? Now I do have crazy ventilation in this room, much like you guys do out there.
You have the best setup I've ever seen. I was telling Sean this the other day, not to interrupt your story, even though I did. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
When I was at your place,
12 times.
I don't know. We're the same fucking person. It's a problem, but
we really are.
When we were visiting you guys, I told Sean, I was like, dude, we walked up there because Sean is setting up like a little spot at his place so he can live stream from there if like we're doing collabs or something shorter or whatever. And he's like, dude, I wonder if I could put ventilation in the basement and smoke cigars. And I was like, so Jeremy's works incredibly well, but Jeremy's is in a room without ventilation, with ventilation coming in as well, like replacing air.
Right.
And I'm like, we were in there and it didn't smell like cigar smoke at all. And he ozones, it like does all this shit to make it not smell like cigars, but it fucking doesn't. But you also have a room. Sean's got like an open space.
It's tough in an open space, but I mean, the two inline fans that I have that pump air out of this room, I forgot the cubic feet per minute, but it basically replaces all the air in this room like 5 times a minute.
Oh, holy shit.
Like all the air in this room gets circulated 5 times a minute. So like completely replaced 5 times a minute.
Right.
So, I mean, it's real hard for it to get smoky. I've had several guys in here smoking cigars and it doesn't get hazy at all because it's just fucking booking.
Right.
But what I was going to say, my point was cigars don't leave the same smell as cigarettes. I smoke cigars in my truck and it doesn't, even though it doesn't, you could smell that there's something there, but I've never had anybody get in my car and be like, oh, right. When I used to smoke cigarettes back in the day, people would get in your car and be like, God damn, it stinks in here. Cause stale cigarette smoke it's funky.
Right.
Your cigar smoke doesn't go funky. Cigar smoke almost goes sweet.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of thing. It's weird. So, to your point, I think that's why cigarette blend just fucking
dude,
it just hits. It just doesn't.
It's different, not in a positive way. Like, and I love, and Grease knows it, but I love them to death. I do. Holy shit. That name is hard, man. Because now here's the thing. In reality, okay, so here's an example, right? So this is the old elk that I was talking about earlier.
Freshly scraped foreskin schmegma. Foreskin schmegma. I think that's redundant though, because isn't schmegma just foreskin juice or butter?
Dude, what the fuck are you saying right now? Dude, hold on. What the fuck are you saying?
Is it schmegma? Like, look it up, God damn it. Hold on.
I'm not looking shit up. I'm not looking anything that has to do with that word in it, dude.
I'm looking it up. I'm telling you, schmegma is like foreskin cheese.
Pipe smoke does smell the best, if we're being honest.
Pipe smoke smells fantastic.
Pipe smoke smells so good. It smells like candy.
Yeah, dude, I'm not even going to read this because it's fucking gross. Schmegma is a thing, and you don't even want to know what it is, but it's not good. You should name it schmegma. That should be your next pick.
Okay, so hold on. Look at this. No, stop looking at whatever the fuck you're looking at, dude.
I'm looking at the definition, but it keeps getting worse, bro.
Stop reading it and definitely don't hit images. You know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely not hitting images. There's no
okay, hold on. Look at this. Look at this pic
on the stream if I hit the damn images.
See this? Oh, is this seriously not going to focus? What the fuck, Sony? Hold on, wait for it. It'll find it.
There it is. Is that a elk?
So it's called the Pretty Old Elk, right?
Elk, okay.
It's an elk smoking a cigar on the beach with a glass of whiskey, right?
Uh-huh.
That's like a relatively calming, beautiful experience, right?
Yeah, he's got a Hawaiian shirt on. He's on a beach.
He does. It's a 7-point elk. Animal. It's a 7-year-old whiskey. You know, there's Easter eggs and shit. Now, here's the thing. You see that sticker and you're like, oh, that's cool. It even could be neutral. It doesn't even have to attract you, right?
Right.
Dude, if that fucking sticker just said cigarette blend on it, it's just like because I'm drinking this whiskey with this bottle in front of me. So I set it down and I look at it. I'm like, that's cool. I drink it. I'm like, I like that, right? It's relaxing or whatever. Yeah, if I set this down in front of me and it says cigarette blend and I pour it and I'm like, that smells like fucking menthol. You know, immediately.
That smells like methamphetamines in trailer parks. That is bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a whole thing.
I agree. Cigarette blend hits different. I don't think that's necessarily a good, but I still stand by. You guys do such a good job with your picks, and your crowd is so loyal to your picks that I think you could name it anything and it wouldn't matter.
We do, we got like ride or dies, and they're the best.
You got a lot of ride or dies, man. You really do.
It's the only reason this whole thing worked, honestly, like for real.
From a marketing perspective, I do agree with you that there are definitely names that give you the warm and fuzzies.
All right, I accidentally
names that don't. And cigarette blend does not. Schmegma certainly does not.
Schmegma is a word that now I said it once. I just said it. I'll never say it again. And I'm not putting it on shit. I want you to know that.
I wouldn't. After I read the description, I'm a little grossed out by it. Yeah. And it wasn't Urban Dictionary. This was like an actual term. I think it's a real thing.
Yeah, buddy, that sounds like a medical term.
That's what I'm saying. I think it is. I think it's Jewish.
Oh, okay, dude.
No, I do. I think it's like Yiddish or something.
Why does it have a religion? What doesn't even try? Hold on. Is Jewish a religion or a race? This is a question I've had 1,000 times in my life.
I think it's both.
That's interesting.
Right? I mean, I could sound like a complete ignorant fuck right now, but I want to say it's both because I think there are people that are like Jewish that are like born, like they're from that race of people, right? But then people can also convert to Judaism and be Jewish.
Right. So not a race in that example.
Right.
Well, Alec Rubin from Alec Bradley Cigars said, don't start Kanye. So
is Alec Rubin Jewish?
Oh, very.
Ask him if schmegma is a Jewish word.
Hey, Alec, is schmegma a Jewish word or not?
I think it is.
Dude, there's no way Alec knows the answer to this question either. Like, we can't. Okay, well,
I'm telling you, I think it is.
Hold on. Dude, oh my gosh, the implication that somebody knows the word because they're Jewish is not.
Well, here's the thing. It's not the implication. It's Jewish. They also have a language, right? So
yeah, it's called English, dude.
No, Hebrew, man. They speak Hebrew.
No, dude.
Isn't Hebrew a language?
Oh my gosh. Holy shit.
I swear to God, I think Hebrew is a language, right? Because I had friends that were Jewish and they took lessons, and it was very I don't want to pretend to do it because it's going to seem like I'm being racist, but it's very like it's a very there's lots of like phlegmy noises.
Oh, dude, this kid's oh.
I'm just saying.
Somebody was worried about politics earlier. Jeremy's now trying to figure out the entire Jewish religion.
Glock Juice says I'm a train wreck. I don't think I'm a train wreck, Glock Juice.
I mean, if he is, he's a train wreck in the best way, dude. Oh, no.
My wife just sent me a text. No. Just stop. She sends me a text. Just stop.
Oh, dude. Oh, Allison's the best. Oh, holy shit.
I think I was right on all accounts, so everybody could suck a nut, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure Hebrew is a language, or Yiddish, or something.
No, Hebrew is a language. No. Do not start mixing shit. Hebrew is a language for sure.
Okay, so then how was that a train wreck? Where was I wrong by saying Hebrew's a language?
I'm going to be honest. You have some people in chat, like Night Angel said, worst part, Jeremy's right. So
thank you. Okay, so everybody that says I'm a train wreck can go fuck themselves because I'm right. Man. I went to a Jewish school for like 6 months.
My gosh, dude.
When I moved to Maryland. When I was a kid, for a brief time, we lived in a place called Reisterstown. It was a very Jewish community. In the school that I went to, they taught Hebrew and stuff like that. I was real out of place because I had come from Waycross, Georgia. And then all of a sudden there's people in there and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was only there temporarily until our house was finished. And then I moved out. But yeah, I thought I was right. See, and y'all say I'm a train wreck.
What state was this in?
In Baltimore, Maryland.
You lived in Maryland while you were a child. Never mind.
Yeah. I was little.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. See?
That's dude. That's one of my favorite conversations I've ever had in my life.
Dude, you were losing your shit. You're like, no, this motherfucker.
No, it's the best. Listen. Oh, the Jewish guy in chat said, "I don't know." Sounds like it. I don't know.
Now, see, this guy says Yiddish is a blending of languages.
No, never trust anything that Bove says ever. Like Bove is the least trustworthy person in chat, without a doubt.
Jeremy Sierstein.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's a dialect.
Okay.
Maybe that's what Yiddish is. It's a dialect of Hebrew, maybe?
I'm going to be, and I'm not a cultured person. We all know this, but I don't know that I've heard Yiddish a whole lot in my life. Like the word Yiddish, not the language.
I'm not for sure. I don't know. I just know Yiddish is a thing. Hebrew is a thing. I think they're languages, and I'm pretty sure Jewish people, it's a religion and a race. And okay. I think I'm right on all.
I would like to ask a question free of judgment.
Okay.
I have to preface it with that.
The fucking judgment-free zone here. I am a glorified
I know you and I can say anything and we're good. I do have to give chat, like, I don't want them to judge me, just real quick, right? So Latin is like a dead language, roughly, or it's close, right?
Right.
Who spoke Latin mainly?
Greeks or Romans? Greek?
Really?
Romans? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, did Jewish people speak Latin or no?
That part gets a little confusing.
Things are written in like the initial Bible. It's written in Latin.
Yeah. I don't, because like, well, here's the thing. Back in the day with like the whole Egypt times and whatnot, like Jewish people weren't like treated very nicely back then. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but that's a totally different thing. So I don't know. That gets confusing. I'm not for sure. Cause obviously there were Jewish people around the same time as Greek people, but I don't know. There's languages all over the place, man. It gets confusing.
A lot. Yeah. I don't know a lot of history, unfortunately. I just don't find it interesting until there's like a little niche that I think is cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Independent Joe said, judging so hard right now, Spaniards spoke Latin. So, all right.
Spaniards.
Luke said, originally spoken by small group. Luke is always right. Like, this is what we've learned is Luke is literally 100% of the time correct. Luke said, originally spoken by small groups of people living along the lower Tiber River. Latin spread with...
Is it Tiber
you know, potato. Latin spread with the increase of Roman political power. First route. See, he's always right. Like, that has to be correct. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, those motherfuckers basically almost took over the world at one point, right? Like,
probably. I'll just take your word for it.
The Romans were the powerhouse for a long time. But yeah, I don't know.
Matt, ADHD Whiskey said, Jeremy's so old, he still reads the Egypt Times. Boom, roasted.
You know what? I was going to give you props for finding this glass, but you can go fuck yourself now.
Dude, okay. Hold on. You have whiskey in that glass. So this is Matt's thing. That is the best swirling glass on planet Earth. He calls it a swirl job. He calls it an SJ. So if you swirl, dude, it honestly, and he's right, it's phenomenal.
It's got a good swirl. Look at that swirl.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm fucking moving it out, son. That stuff. And it's going.
It is the best. He's not wrong.
It's good, man.
It's a good glass. I was like, hey man, get a hold of Rockwell and work with Visky because you're the guy that started the whole Visky thing. Like, for fuck's sake.
What's cool is because it's bigger, they can put the logo a lot bigger on it.
Yeah.
So like he sent me a mock-up of the skull logo, and it's like, it's big. It's way bigger than it is because the Glens, there's like such a sharp curve right here with the way a Glen shaped that if they go too big with the logo, it starts looking fucking weird and it looks like it deforms. But because the Visky there's a straight line that goes from the bulge down here up, they could make that logo like substantially bigger, and it looks cool.
So you're gonna do the isn't it a spin job, said Alec? Well, it's a swirl job, a spin job. Matt has like 14 names for it. I know those two.
Swirl job was something else completely.
An SJ is what Matt references it as. So, you know.
Maybe I'm getting my things mixed up. I thought that was a sex act.
It's like a ZJ. If you don't know, you can't afford it. So. Medium Ugly said, have you had any of the Ben Holiday bourbons? I don't know exactly who that is.
I don't know about that, but I know Doc Holliday is one of my favorite characters ever.
From what?
In Tombstone.
Pulp Fiction.
What's funny is he's one of my favorite fictional characters, being he was kind of fictional in Tombstone, but he was a real person. So he's not really a fictional character. So
is Tombstone a movie?
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I'm not fucking with you at all, dude.
Okay, look, you could not know if Hebrews are Jewish people or a race or religion and all that stuff. I'm not going to judge you, but not seeing Tombstone, you're fucking crossing.
Hold on. Is that like Resident Evil?
Huh?
What?
You're crossing a line.
Hold on. I don't have my phone because I'm hot spotted right now because my internet can't just do a basic fucking thing. I'm gonna Google
Tombstone's one of the best movies ever made. It's in my top 10 movies of all time.
All right, dude. What is it, made in the 40s?
No, it wasn't made in the 40s. Okay. What the fuck is wrong with you?
It was almost made in the 80s, so I wasn't that far off.
I think it was made in the 90s, wasn't it?
It was made in 93, and I've definitely never seen that movie ever.
Val Kilmer.
Yep.
Played Doc Holliday. Kurt Russell played, oh my God, I just had a stroke. Wyatt Earp. One of the best movies ever. Had Sam Elliott in it.
Yeah, I see that now. I was 3. So, you know.
I was slightly older than 3.
A teenager.
Let me see. I was slightly older than 3. Dude, I almost got a tattoo that said "I'm your Huckleberry." That's how much I love that movie.
Holy shit! That's where it came. That's where that phrase came from.
You didn't know that? Yes, "I'm your Huckleberry" came from Val Kilmer in Tombstone.
I've never heard of this movie ever.
You're a daisy if you do.
That's crazy.
That's another one of his sayings. Yep.
You know what movie's really good?
Daisy if you do. What else was some of the one-liners he said in that movie? Doc Holliday made that movie. Or Val Kilmer, actually. I mean, he played Doc Holliday. But yeah, it was top 10 movies it's in my top 10 movies of all time.
You know what?
If you haven't seen it, it's on I'm sure it's on Amazon Prime or Netflix or search through your streamers. But it's one of the, do you like Westerns at all?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What the fuck, Dan? Come
on.
Well,
no. Hear me out. And let me tell you why I don't know. And then judge me. I have never watched a Western as an adult. Well, that's not true.
Fair enough.
Okay. You can tell me if you consider this a Western or not. But The Hateful Eight.
Yeah. I mean, it's a modern Western, but yeah, I mean, if it's based during that time frame, you got people with cowboy hats and 6-shooters and shit. Yeah, I mean, it's it's a Western. Okay. It's not like your old school like Clint Eastwood style Western, but it's a modern Western.
The Hateful Eight is one of my favorite Tarantino movies, and it happens to be kind of a Western. So,
yeah.
But all of the other Westerns I've seen, I was a kid. All right, Bo, fuck yourself. Bo, shut the fuck up. I haven't had frozen pizza in forever now because my LDLs are high, dude. I'm trying to live forever. So now hear me out. And you're going to have to give me the title, but this movie was phenomenal.
What's that?
Everybody's going to agree with me. It's 2 Irish dudes. They kill everybody.
Boondock Saints.
That movie's fucking amazing.
That's not a Western at all.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, because we were talking about Westerns, and you're like,
I know,
2 Irish guys that kill everybody. I'm like, that's Boondock Saints, man. That's not
I was just talking. I was on the good movie theme, not like the fucking Western.
No, I agree. Boondock Saints is one of the best movies ever. Yes.
That's not a Western at all.
Yeah, no.
Dude, it's like a Western from Ireland, honestly. It's the same.
I mean, kind of like if you can consider it is, but what's the term? Something Veritas. Oh God, what's the thing?
This is going to be lost on me 100%.
It's the 2 brothers have it on their hands. They have the tattoos. It's something Veritas or Aquatas Veritas, or I can't remember the actual, but it's a Latin saying.
What does it mean?
Hold on. I'm going to have to look it up.
Oh, no. That movie is so good, though. It holds really up. Good. Does Tombstone hold up?
Oh, yes, it holds up.
Okay. All right. Matt's ADHD Whiskey said, I thought he was going to say his favorite Western was Sleepless in Seattle. All right. I swear to God.
Truth and justice is what it means. Veritas Aquatas, the Latin word meaning truth and justice. Yeah, one brother has it on one of them on that one hand, the other brother has it on the other. That's a great movie, man.
Dude, that movie I saw when I was too young to see it.
It's great.
And then
the second one's not as good.
No, it's not. And then I resaw that movie a little older, and I was like, "Holy shit, this movie's actually like phenomenal."
That was the first time we really saw Mr. Walking Dead in his element.
Oh my gosh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. The guy, what's his name?
I don't know his name in real life.
Norman Reedus.
Oh my gosh, I definitely didn't know his name in real life.
Yeah, Norman Reedus. He's the guy that got popular and famous. Well, he was popular and famous for Boondock Saints, but he's the guy that's in Walking Dead.
Oh shit. Holy shit. I didn't know that at all. Like, I didn't know that was his name. Norman
Reedus, yeah. Wow. He's a big motorcycle guy, man. He loves motorcycles. He rides the fuck out of them. He's got a couple shows where he rides motorcycles around the world and does all kinds of stuff. Yeah. He seems like a cool dude. I've never met him, but
he seems like a very normal, cool dude.
I always like it when I see famous people that seem super normal.
You know who? Right? Keanu Reeves.
Uber normal, dude. Like, does not give a fuck. And by the way, can I give that guy some credit for not dialing it in with the fucking John Wick movies?
Hey, send those things to the fucking moon. I'll see every one of them.
Dude, he trains hard as fuck with Terran Tactical and like all those guys. And he trained in jujitsu and like he wanted it to be legit. And it's legit. Put it
if
this
you
way.
watch, he was sorry, go ahead.
Have you ever seen him run a gun?
Buddy, he's competing in 3-gun competitions.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
bro.
it's fucking awesome.
You break into his house and you have fucked up, okay? Because he is not some Hollywood guy that does stunt double come in and do his shit.
Yeah.
That motherfucker can run a gun.
And you know what's crazy? He's had the worst fucking life, dude.
Horrible, bro. I saw a thing about that. That poor guy has had the fucking...
He's lost everybody. He's lost a kid, his wife, a sister, parents, like literally everything.
And he's still super pleasant.
There's a video of somebody recording on a subway because they recognized him. And they're recording him from like an angle that you like if it was filmed intentionally, if he knew about it, it wouldn't be recorded like that, right?
Uh-huh.
He's sitting on a seat in a subway in a big city, clearly. Somebody gets on, like a woman gets on the subway, and it's packed. There's fucking people everywhere. And he gets out of his seat, gives her the seat, and stands up. See, and you're like, he's actually like, fuck like the dude. Hollywood shit. That he didn't know he's, in theory, probably didn't know he's being filmed, did that actual. Like, like he would do that normally. You know, it was, I don't know.
No, he seems like a genuinely good dude.
Yeah, he does 100%.
And like I said, he actually trained hard to learn how to work a gun so he didn't go in there looking like a fool. Because I don't know how many times, me being a gun nut myself, get people in movies that don't actually know how to handle a gun and they're like playing a detective or a fucking SWAT person or something. And like they do all kinds of gun handling shit that is just so wrong, and it just takes me out of it because I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, dude, when somebody has like a small, like a carry handgun and they shoot 27 times and you're like, hey man, by now you'd have to have figured this out.
Right. Or my favorite is when they do the cocking noise. Like when they're being serious, they're like, I said freeze. And they'll do like the thumb like this and it'll make a cocking noise. And they've got a Glock.
Yeah.
And you can see that the gun's a Glock. And you're like, yeah, there's no hammer on that gun, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah.
Like, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Hey, man, I've never seen anybody pull a whole slide back with their thumbs ever.
They do a lot of weird shit. The trigger, the finger on the trigger in movies is crazy too. Like
it is. That is wild. Yeah.
It's their finger's always on the trigger.
Always.
You don't do that. You keep your finger indexed on a firearm unless you're ready to shoot.
That's actually one of like the tells for people like Hollywood stars or whatever you want, actors, right? To know if they like handle guns or not.
Right.
It's like you're in the scene, nothing's happening. It's not like in John Wick where he's like unloading 17 different guns through.
Your finger's obviously going to be on the trigger.
Right. But it's like, nope, this is just pointed at somebody and your guys are having a discussion and everybody's finger's always on the trigger. And you're like, I feel like this wasn't a directing conversation. This was more of a, I don't know how to handle guns. And this is just what I think it looks like. Right. So
got to keep that finger index, man. You got to keep your booger hook off the boom button.
Real quick, Big Vic's Backyard BS said, Dan, didn't you say your favorite Western movie was Brokeback Mountain? No, I didn't say that. Dude, I don't know.
That's his favorite movie to masturbate to. It's not his favorite movie.
Okay. I'm going pee. I have to pee right now. I'll be right back.
Oh boy. Let's see. Or the Glock out of ammo, slide, lock back, but then they add click the hammer. Yeah, dude, they do all kinds of weird shit with guns and movies that it's like, you guys have these huge budgets. Can you not have somebody that knows at least a fucking little bit about guns on set so they can not? I mean, I guess for the majority of people, they watch it and nobody notices and it's fine. But for a large portion of the United States that are gun people, it takes you out of it because you're like, oh, these fucking people are supposed to be playing like tactical people and their gun handling is fucking atrocious. Let's see. Glock hammer and Ant-Man. Was there a Glock hammer in Ant-Man? I don't remember an Ant-Man, but yes, that's one of the ones that gets me a lot. Did we even talk about bourbon tonight? I can't remember. Yeah, we did. We talked about the Angel's Envy. He talked about the Old Elk. Yeah, we talked about bourbon some. Sorry, Dan, quickly rubbing one out after. Jeremy, you have no idea how bad Dan's taste is. Food, movies, dude. When he said he never seen Tombstone, that crushed my soul a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of crushed me. Do I still live in? No, I live in Florida. I haven't lived in Maryland since I was 12, 13. I actually lived in a small town called Finksburg. I always tell people Baltimore because nobody knows where the fuck Finksburg's at, but I lived in Finksburg, Maryland. But yeah, I moved from there when I was right before I was a freshman in high school, and I've lived in Florida since. Jeremy's favorite pistol caliber, 9mm, probably. I mean, I love 45 God's caliber, but honestly, 9mm just because a lot more ammunition. You can carry a lot more. It's cheaper, less recoil. Like, you know what? My handguns are 9mm. I also really like 5.56, but that's not a pistol caliber. I also really love 300 Blackout. I'm a huge fan of 300 Blackout.
FN makes a 5.56.
FN does make a 5.56. Sorry, I was just rifling through comments.
Oh, you're good, buddy. I appreciate you doing that.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I've been looking at like very seriously and a lot lately. So I owned back a little while ago, and I did get rid of it, and I wish I hadn't, but I owned a FNP or FNX 45 tactical for a while.
Oh, those are nice, dude. Did it have the threaded barrel and shit on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Slide cut, threaded barrel, a double stack 45, fucking wild.
I almost got one of those for a nightstand gun because I feel like, because even though that's 45, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 16. I think it holds 16.
14
so
or 16.
17, 16,
yes.
One in the pipe or something like that.
14 or 16, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 16, which is fucking fantastic. I mean, obviously you're not carrying that. You're not fucking concealing that. For
buddy, there's no fucking way.
But for a nightstand gun, it's subsonic usually. I think actually I think 45 is always subsonic. So if you put a suppressor on it, somebody breaks in your house, you could shoot them without deafening yourself, because I don't know if you've ever shot a gun indoors. A lot of people don't know this. It's not pleasant. Shooting a gun indoors unsuppressed does not feel good. It hurts like fuck, and your ears ring for 2 hours. I
shot my 1911 outside with no ear protection and was like, holy fucking shit.
Now imagine doing that in a house.
Right.
It's horrible, right?
Yeah.
So for a nightstand gun, I really thought about getting one and then getting a suppressor for it, because I mean, 16 and 1 suppressed, that's a perfect nightstand gun. If you need to clear the house for any reason, you can take care of business without going deaf.
You know what the good news is too with that gun is when you pick it up, you have a very good idea if it's loaded or not loaded.
Oh yeah, dude. You got 16 rounds of 45.
It weighs
9 pounds.
Dude, it weighs when it is loaded, it weighs so fucking much.
Yeah, because it's a polymer gun, so when it's not loaded, it's relatively, for the size of gun it is, it's relatively lightweight. And then you throw a fucking full magazine in it, and you're like, oh my God.
It is it is the best shooting 45 I've ever shot in my life. Like, from a recoil perspective, it doesn't make any sense because it's polymer, right?
The best shooting 45s, in my opinion, and I love them. I don't carry them anymore because of such limited capacity, but it's 1911s. 1911s shoot really well.
Right, but they're steel. So, like, that's the thing is, like,
they're heavy, so they kind of hold the recoil.
I love 1911 so much. I got rid of the FNX 45, and I still have my SR 1911 from Ruger. But if you shot them back to back, you were like, holy shit, this is what technology does. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the FN shot so much better than the SR 1911. Did it shoot
flatter? I've never shot an FN myself.
It's wild.
It shot flatter than a 1911.
It is fucking wild.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's literally easier on your hand in a polymer gun than the 1911 is. And mind you, like, from a technology standpoint, it's a double stack 45 instead of a single, right?
Yeah, right.
So you're getting around 14, let's say 14 to 16 rounds instead of 7 to 10. It shoots it's like it cycles. It's sexier. It cycles smoother.
It's a good looking gun, especially with the suppressor on it and that little threaded cap on the end. They put the little thread protectors on it. It looks good. Yeah. So I saw somebody said just get a 300 blackout. I agree. That's another really good nightstand gun because a 300 blackout.
Wait, hold on. What? Wait, what? What 300 blackout fits in a nightstand?
No. It doesn't fit in a nightstand. It's a good nightstand gun, meaning have it beside your nightstand for like if there's a bump in the night. Dude, this actually, and I'll be curious to hear what chat thinks about this because my wife, I don't know if she's still listening. Actually, I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on this, Dan. I'd be curious to hear everybody's thoughts because when I brought this up to my wife, she looked at me like I was fucking insane, which I do say some insane shit. So I'll give you that. So I'll be curious to hear chat's opinion if you guys can ring off in here, and then Dan, your opinion. The other night, I talked to my wife and I was like, I think I want to get night vision. And she was like, what in the fuck do you need night vision for? And I'm like, it would just be fucking cool. Like, how cool would that be to have night vision? It's expensive though. Night vision is not cheap.
Of course it's expensive.
It's so expensive. But it would be dope as fuck to have night. Could you imagine going looking for bumps in the night with night vision? Forget about it, dude. Game is over.
Do you have so my AR's flashlight that I bought for the bottom rail is over there. And it's not on the AR. Anyways, Sean the other day picked it up because it's sitting on the fucking desk. And I walked out of one of the studios and he's shining it at me. And the lights are on. So it's not dark, right?
Right.
And he's shining it at me, and I walked out. I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" Like immediately, it was like, "Holy shit!" Right? And he goes, "Do you know what that is?" And I'm like, "No, I assume it's his fucking flashlight, like a bigger, a larger pocket flashlight." He's like, "That's your fucking light," and I'm like, "That is outlandishly bright." Like, if it was dark, that would be shocking to look at, right?
Oh, very shocking.
So I think in my brain, it works out in a way in which it's like, that's very disorienting in the dark. And it's already a high stress situation.
It is.
So that feels sufficient. Now, that being said, from your perspective, I could see everything, bitch, good luck. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and that's the thing is, I agree with you. And yes, if you shine a bright light in somebody's face in the dark, it is disorienting. But if they have any sense about it, they can still shoot at the light.
Sure, that's fair.
Hit you because the light is attached to your gun, right? And if you have bad light discipline and you're waving it around everywhere, then they can see you coming potentially before you see them, right? The way you're supposed to use a weapon light is keep it off until you're checking your target. You don't want to go like fucking beaming around the house with it because then you could let somebody know where you're at. Yeah. But the thing is night vision honestly for like searching your house, it's kind of unrealistic. Cause like if you hear a bump, are you really going to go get your nods and put your fucking nods on and all that shit? Right. It's a little overkill. And do you really have time to do that if you're here? But it would be cool because then it could be pitch fucking black and you've got your IR light on your gun. And the IR light lights everything up, but it's invisible to the human eye. So they can't see that they're lit up. They're lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. And it's pitch black. So then all they hear is, and then they're fucking toast. And they don't even know what happened. Like, so, it's kind of cool.
Night Angel said, I'd take thermals over NVGs, please. LOL. So,
yeah, thermals are like a cheat code, bro. That shit is. Have you ever seen those things? That shit is crazy as fuck.
So, Night Angel was or is, I don't know the correct terminology, and I don't want to offend him, but great dude. Also very active, if you know what I'm saying. So, okay, so this is literally, I told my family, I said, if I'm ever gone and shit hits the fan, I'm going to give you a phone number. It's Night Angel's phone number, right? And I'm like, and Night Angel's it might not be happy, but he's going to figure it the fuck out. Like,
by the way, not to interrupt your thought, I want to hear about Night Angel, but I will say, I'm going to have my wife rewatch this if she hasn't. The vast majority of chat all said night vision's dope.
Okay, but said yes or no?
Said yes. Most of them said it was awesome.
Okay.
There's a few people that were like, nah, you won't use it that much or whatever. And I agree, but most people said it's cool. And
now,
I agree. It might not be really the most practical thing, but it would be cool.
Cut this out before Allison sees it, though, right? Cut this part. Like, don't show her this part.
Okay.
You're talking to a lot of dudes right now. You know what I mean?
Well, of course. Yeah.
Damn it.
Obviously.
Shit, she's still in here. She said you don't need night vision.
Allison, see, the chat agrees. Night vision.
Oh shit, dude.
Cool, yes, needed, no. Look, Allison.
Cool, yes, needed, no is a very fair standpoint, though.
It's a fair standpoint, but I mean, that could be applied to a lot of things. Her fucking brand new Louis Vuitton bag that I bought her, cool. Yes, needed, no.
100%.
I'm just saying.
Okay, Allison said they're all dudes. Allison, with all due respect, we have a 2% female ratio. Okay, so there are 2% of our people. It's such a shitty argument. Like, oh no.
I'm just saying. I agree with her. Cool, yes, needed, no. But there is a lot of things that aren't needed. I don't need as many rifles as I have. I think I'm working on my third 300 blackout. Do I need three 300 blackout? No, but it's cool and they're fun to have.
They're fun.
And you know, you never know when the shit's going to hit the fan. Have you been watching The Last of Us? I'm just saying.
Oh, can I tell you? Okay, I can't watch that show because it's too sad and it fucks me up a little bit. But
you haven't been watching it?
I can't. I've refused to watch it.
Bro, it's like the best show.
I'm going to give you
shows on TV.
I know, and I know it is, and I'm going to give you a different perspective. So there's and I'm sure you know at least part of this. There's a video game where the show came from called The Last of Us, right? It was it was like one of the best video. Everybody raves about how great. I never played the game, but people talk about how fantastic it was. I watched somebody play the video game for fucking 10 minutes, and the intro to the video game is the saddest shit I've ever seen in my life. And it's a video game.
First episode, within the first 20 minutes, the first episode is the saddest shit you've ever seen.
I know,
in your life,
because
that part of the video game.
The show, yes, the show is based on the game, right? So
it rides pretty, because I've watched a lot of like people talking about it, and it rides very close to the video game.
The intro rides almost 100%, and I'm like, I already saw it. I'm good. Like, I saw it in a video game, and it was depressing. I don't need to see this shit acted out by real people, right?
It's a great show, though, man.
I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about it. But
it's a phenomenal show. Pedro Pascal, I've decided that guy is the golden fucking horse. Okay, bro. Like. He's in The Mandalorian. He's in that, probably the two most successful streaming franchises at the moment. Like, that guy, everything he touches is fucking like, or the golden horse, golden goose, I think is the term. Fuck, golden horse. What the fuck?
Same shit. Horses are cooler than gooses, if you think about it.
They are. I agree. But see, Allison said you got to watch it. It's fucking great.
I can't watch it.
Do I think a fungus is going to take over and the world's going to end in some kind of weird zombie apocalypse thing? No, absolutely not. But with current fucking political situations and some of the shit that's going on with China and everything else, you never know when the shit might hit the fan, and having a well-armed population isn't going to be a bad thing.
Okay, I got to tell you something cool that you're going to be kind of into.
What's that?
Okay, Jamie said, Dan, life is sad. Listen, shit hits different when I refuse to and cannot watch shows or movies with kids experiencing trauma. Like, it fucks me up,
man. After you're a parent, that's a much harder thing to deal with. I remember when I was younger, I would watch shit like that. It wouldn't even faze me because I didn't have the perspective.
100%.
But as a parent, it's for sure more difficult.
I can't watch it. It fucks with me in a way in which I'm like, it's not worth it, right? Like the when you start weighing shit with mental health, I'm like, that fucks me up for like, not like the hour I'm watching the show. That's fucking me up for like, you know, that night, maybe the next morning, like too long. Right. So when my kids are older, hopefully I won't feel this way when I watch, like, Ricky and I will start a movie. We just watched a fucking movie from, this is probably 4 months ago. Some very, very famous English movie. We watched this movie off the fucking rip. A kid gets shot in it. And I'm like, I can't fucking do that. Like, I can't. It ruins everything after that for me immediately. And I know the beginning of Last of Us. I know it. I fucking know the fucking storyline. And it's a phenomenal game. And I know that the show, I've literally not heard a bad thing about the show, period, from anyone.
Dude, it crushed. The
But
season finale was just this week. It was what? Sunday night, whatever that was, 2-3 nights ago. Yeah, dude, it slaps. It was a hell of a show. One of my favorite shows I've watched in a while. It's very, very good. So, and it is a little fucking depressing, and there's some fucked up stuff that goes on in it. It's kind of, there are parts of it that kind of fuck with your head a little bit, but it's a very good show.
Yeah, Night Angel said, definitely first episode of Last of Us would fuck up Dan. True. Jamie said, see, I worked in psych with kids with psych trauma, so much trauma. Good news, kids are often very resilient. That actually helps a little bit, if I'm being completely honest.
They are, dude. Kids are much more resilient than adults most of the time. Allison works with a lot of that too, because she works in a pediatric ER, and some of the shit she has to deal with. And she comes home and starts telling me stories, and I'm like, babe, look, I want to be here for you if you need to vent, but like, if it's not something you need to do, you got to stop, because this is some horrible fucking shit. This is going to give me fucking nightmares.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
The shit people do to children is fucking horrendous, dude. It's just bad. And it's like babies sometimes. And it's like, I don't know how anybody can be that big of a piece of shit.
See, and I think that's what pisses me off, or like fucks me up, is that like I don't often look at almost any adults and think innocence, right? Like we've all fucking done dumb shit or whatever, right?
And we can all defend ourselves for the most part.
Right.
Like kids are completely helpless. So anybody who would take it, there's a special place in hell for those people. Special place in hell. And I hope they're burning and getting butt raped by razor blades currently.
Right. And maybe like somebody just helps them get there faster is like my thought process. Yeah. Which isn't healthy, but it is kind of where mentally I'm where I'm at. Right.
Because I mean, like literally, and I don't want to go into details because it's sad, but like little bitty infants like that are beaten to death. Like, that's horrible, dude. Like who does that? And I don't mean like the shaken baby where a mom loses her shit and shakes the kid too hard. That's bad. But you know, I'm talking about like beaten. Yeah. Like who would sit there and beat on an infant?
And see, my problem with that is like, maybe it's one of these things where like, we just like put them in a room alone with somebody who's willing to do the same shit.
I would be willing to tune them up 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Bad about it. And maybe we just like let that happen. We just save space. Right. Like, I mean, and my problem is it like makes me mad and then makes me sad. And like, it's a lot. And then babies are innocent. And I think that's where, like, I have a 3-year-old. Right. So all this shit is kind of like really personal or fresh or whatever, you know?
Right.
Dude, I said this and I'm going to have to like, I'll delete the stream or whatever, but I told Ricky, I go, if I ever experience total loss, which is just Ricky and the kids, right? Like fucking disaster happens. I'm like, we're on to some vigilante shit until I die. Like, fuck those motherfuckers.
You're going like, Punisher mode.
We're going random pedo in rooms. They're fucking, you find them pieced up in different places and we just do it until it's over forever. You know, like, cause that, I don't know why, but that shit, and I know it fucks everybody up. That shit is like, it just is a fucking different thing in my brain and I can't deal with it at all. Like, it's fucking weird.
I don't think that, and I definitely don't think we should prosecute people who, if their child is like molested or something horrible happens to their child at the hands of somebody else. I definitely don't think we should prosecute if the parent goes and just ends that motherfucker. Like, I think that's a fair trade. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this person really doesn't need to be here.
No.
And
for what?
And
like, give me a good example
and save the taxpayers a bunch of money from them being in the prison system for a long time. Let's just save everybody the trouble and give the parents a little bit of peace of mind that they got to fucking handle business. I mean, it's never going to make the parent feel better, but at least it'll make them feel, even if it's 1% better, that made me feel good.
Right. Well, it feels more like justice and like sit in fucking prison type shit, right? Like, fuck you.
Exactly.
Okay, hold on. On a happier note, because I think you'll enjoy this.
Okay.
So a while back, I bought an Audi, right? So I was driving an Audi S4 around. I've been into like Volkswagens for my whole life, forever.
That's crazy. I don't see you as an Audi guy.
Right. So, but I've always been into Volkswagens. I've owned like 6 or 7 Volkswagens.
I see you as like a Ford F-150 or like a Dodge Ram or like a truck.
That's fair.
Guy.
I had a GMC Sierra for a long time too, but I also had like a Volkswagen. I mean,
you live out in the middle of nowhere. Like, it just seems like your kind of ride.
Yes. So I've had 2 GMC Sierras and I've had a Ford Ranger, but I've also had 2 Mustangs and like 5 or 6 different Volkswagens, right? Well, I never like could afford an Audi like my whole life because Audis are just more expensive Volkswagens.
Yeah,
right?
they're expensive.
They're
also
literally
expensive,
the same
they
shit.
break.
Yeah. So, I bought an Audi S4 because I'm like, I've always wanted an S4. I've had like a Golf R, which is an all-wheel drive version of a Golf, which is basically an Audi, right? And then I've had an R32, which was like, if people are into Volkswagens or cars, they know what an R32 is. But it is so. I was just bored with the S4. I was just bored. It is whatever. So I sold it like 3 weeks ago, right? I've decided because I was fucking bored. I sold it. I don't have a different car. I just had the Audi. So I bought a fucking Toyota 4. Just follow me down this for 1 minute. I bought a Toyota 4Runner.
Okay.
I'm turning it into, I've got the build set up. I'm turning it into a fucking overland off-road vehicle.
You know, what's funny is I was almost got into overlanding. Right? Because I've seen some pretty cool overlanding rigs they do with Chevys, like full-size Chevy trucks. They put the rig on the back. They put like a truck top tent and all the things. And I know there's going to be some people in chat that might disagree with me on this, but camping just kind of sucks in Florida.
Camping's, yeah, that's fair.
It's just not like when I lived in Kentucky or when I would go visit Kentucky and my uncles would take me out camping and stuff. It's awesome up there. Like camping is awesome. There's mountains, there's hills, there's beautiful woods. It's, you know, here it's just flat and swamp and mosquitoes. And it's just not the greatest place to camp. Now there were a couple islands we camped on one time that was kind of fun. You had to take a boat out to them and stuff. And we redfished during the day and camped at night and stuff. And it was good, but Florida's just not the greatest place for camping, man. So I thought about it. I was like, do I want to put a bunch of money into building an overlanding rig that I probably won't really use? So I'm still going to do an EDC build out on my truck. I'm actually doing a video series on it, but I'm going to do it more like prepared for everything kind of build out, not really overlanding per se.
So we're actually on the same wavelength. Because I am going to daily drive this vehicle because it's going to be my only vehicle. So it's going to have to serve as, it's going to have two purposes, right? So it'll have like a small lift, like 2 to 2.5 inch lift. It's going to have, you know, like 32s, maybe 33s tire size on it. We're going to do like metal bumper front for sure. It's some skid plates and shit. Like little overlanding shit, but not like, holy shit, you can't even fucking drive it down the road anymore. Right.
Well, when you get into like the whole rigs, the roof racks, and then like the rooftop tents and all the things, like that shit gets really expensive. And if you're not going to use that a lot, like it doesn't make a ton of sense to, you know what I mean? It's hard to justify that expense.
Well, and so
meanwhile, I want night vision.
Fair point. But what I'm going to do, what the plan is, because the kids are so young right now, right? So, camping and like adventuring for the kids is something like currently that they're really interested in. So I found these setups where it's like a roof rack for the vehicle and then you install the tent or uninstall it when you want to use it.
But
so
how easy is it to get it on and off? Some of those things are big and heavy as fuck. Do you have like one of the suspended things and you could pull under it and drop it on?
It is heavy and it's not going to be great, but we're going to like, if we use it, it'll be like a handful of times a year. It won't be like, put it on this week, take it off this week, put it on this week. You know what I'm saying?
They have those rigs that you like mount to your garage ceiling or like you got a pole barn or whatever. And it kind of suspends it and it can kind of hang there. And then you just drive the truck under it. You lower it down on top, take the hooks off, latch everything down. And you come home, you put the hooks under it, pull it up, you know.
That's some Jeep shit.
I don't have the space for something like that.
I don't have the space for that either. That's some Jeep. Like when we used to own a Jeep, they made like hard top removers. Yes. But the plan is like, if we can take this on like little mini adventures, right? 3-4 day adventures or whatever.
Right.
Go park somewhere, camp for 1 or 2 days. Come, because in Michigan, we don't have the same camping here is fucking huge, right? So,
well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like you live in a good place for it. I feel like down here, it just fucking sucks.
But
in
the good news is
camping is way better because you're off the ground.
Yeah.
So like all the varmints and shit, like, or if you're in a bear area, like down here, black bears are a real problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have bears up where you're at.
Not a shit ton. Not like enough that we're concerned with it. So.
Oh, dude, black bears here. There's a part of Ocala that you can't even do soft side camping because the black bears are just fucking ridiculous. You got to keep all your food in bear tight containers and all that shit because they're just all over the place.
Yeah, dude. Like when there's a bear up here that people know about, it's one of those things where they're like fucking news articles. You know what I mean? Like they're publishing shit on the
brown bears or black bears.
We have black bears up here.
See, black bears aren't near as scary as brown bears, but they're still scary. They'll still fuck you up. But the good thing is a black bear, if you're armed well, you can take a black bear out. A fucking brown bear, you might have a problem.
Well, the black bears in not the UP, but the lower part of Michigan, like we're talking like not a shit ton, right? We're not talking like you go camping, you're worried about it. We're talking like they published thing. They're like, we saw a black bear in this general fucking huge vicinity in Michigan, yet over the past 2 months.
3,000 acre area.
Right. Exactly. So
yeah, no, in Ocala National Forest and stuff, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they're all over. It's not like we saw one. It's like
well, you guys get everything because it's warm there. So you guys get snakes, gators, spiders, fucking bears.
I didn't send you this. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. This was I sent this to somebody the other day. This, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. This was me. I was out. This is my outdoor kitchen. I was out cooking the other night, and this guy just hung out with me for like a half hour. Can you see that?
What kind of snake is that?
It was just a corn snake. They're perfectly harmless, and they're actually really pretty. They're like orange and red and stuff. They're pretty snakes. I don't know if I'll zoom in. Can you see his coloration?
What kind of what? Yeah, I'm good on that shit.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. We don't have that shit here.
He was just hanging out, dude, with us when we were cooking outdoor. I mean, you could see in the one shot, like there's the corner of my deep fryer, and there he is just hanging out.
What the hell?
See, I mean, at one point I went to lift up a sheet that I had out there that I was putting the food on, and he just went out from under it. I was like, oh, hey, buddy. He was just out there. He hung out with us for like 30 minutes.
Just sat there?
He just hung out. Just
we don't have, buddy, we got gardeners up here is what we got.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they're harmless snakes. They're harmless. They're actually very friendly snakes too. Like the whole time he never hissed at me. He never like struck at me or anything. He just fucking hung out. Yeah, they're mellow, dude. They're a lot of people have them as pets.
Dude, you guys.
But yeah, Florida. My point is, Florida. It's like people wake up with fucking alligators in their pools and shit. Like it's
alligators are. So Ricky's from Florida. She's from was it St. Petersburg? So yeah, Ricky's like so fucking obsessed with alligators, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing, they're dinosaurs, and they fucking do whatever they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you definitely don't want to be around water. On land, alligators are pretty fucking harmless, though, man. Like, I mean, they can run fast, but like
in a straight line type shit.
Yeah, all you gotta do is like make a sharp turn, and they're like, you know, they don't know what the fuck is going on. They're so big that most of the time they're not. I wouldn't want to be like wading in water and see one. Like,
right? Yeah, no, I'm out on that.
But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, they get in ponds and stuff all the time here, and somebody's dog will go missing, and then they call the county, and the county comes and gets them. The problem here is the fucking cottonmouths and shit, the poisonous snakes and the pygmy rattlers and shit like that. That's more of a problem than the alligators and the other stuff, because you can be walking through the woods and it bites you in the leg and then you're fucked.
Right. Yeah. Dude, we have 1 or 2 poisonous snakes in the state, and they're like not a common. Yeah, like it's not a normal thing. Snakes. Yeah, no, you guys get all the cool shit. You guys get the Australia shit almost. You know what I mean?
Florida is basically the Australia of the United States.
100% is that. Yeah, without a doubt.
It's not as bad as Australia, because I mean they have every poisonous thing on the planet there. They have like ants that will kill you there, which is fucking crazy. But we have fire ants here. They won't kill you, but they're fucking miserable. You have fire ants up there?
Yeah, we have fire ants. Yeah,
I hate those little suck.
I wonder what that. You know what? I wonder what they do in the wintertime.
I don't know. We don't see them in the winter. I think they go deep, because we don't in the winter. You don't see them here. In the summer, you'll see the piles start coming up, and you got to go put like fire ant killer on them. But in the summer, I don't ever see them, or in the winter.
Hold on. You're still on your other camera angle.
Oh shit.
Tennessee Jed said zoom out. There you go.
Yeah. Totally forgot about
that. We don't, dude. I mean, what the fuck is dangerous in Michigan?
Well, you have black bears. They can be dangerous. You said you have copperheads.
We have rattlesnakes here.
Rattlesnakes, copperheads. Those are both dangerous.
Rattlesnakes aren't crazy. They aren't common here at all. Like rattlesnakes here are like, if you found a rattlesnake here, you'd be like, holy shit, I found one. You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, they're all over the place here. Me and Allison were riding our bikes down the sidewalk, and there's a big old fucking cottonmouth just hanging out on the sidewalk sunning.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean they're
all
over
fucking wild, dude.
My neighbor, the other night, my neighbor Clay. I love my neighbor because he's very much so in line with my thought process. He's a big gun guy and all that stuff. I'm out there the other night smoking a brisket, and it's dark, and I'm out there late smoking a cigar on the back porch, tending this smoker, trying to get his brisket done. And next thing I know, he's over my fence with a gun and with a gun light on it. And he's like, "Hey man, you see, I'm just trying to warn you. He's like, I saw a damn cottonmouth, and I think it went under your fence over there, and I don't want one of your dogs to get bit." He's like, I came out here, he had a 22 and he had snake shot in it. He's like, I was trying to kill it so it didn't bite one of our dogs. He's like, but the son of a bitch went under your fence. Now I can't find it. I'm like, well, great. I'm out here in flip-flops in the dark grilling.
Right.
This motherfucker's gonna bite me in the leg. I'm like, so then every time I went to the wood pile to get more wood, I'm like fucking flashlight, making sure I'm not gonna put my hand on a fucking cottonmouth.
Holy shit, dude.
But yeah, they're all over the place here, man.
Luke said,
I mean, how many times are you out back smoking and your neighbor's over your fence with a fucking semi-automatic pistol with a weapon light looking for snakes?
Never. I don't have neighbors. Fuck that
Florida. Florida, man. That's why I love Florida, man.
Luke said the most dangerous animal in Michigan is a brown recluse spider. So
yeah, we got those here too.
Yeah. And then the second is a northern black widow spider. Like that. This is why, and I'm 100% convinced I'm not super like scared of snakes, but the snakes that we see here aren't dangerous snakes, right?
Uh-huh.
I hate spiders, dude. I fucking hate them.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of spiders, bro. I got bit by a brown recluse, so I particularly hate those motherfuckers.
Jesus,
I mean, it was years I was dealing with that because
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because their venom is necrotic, so it
kills the nerves
skin,
and shit.
Yeah. It's not a good thing. it's not fun.
Dude, I'm so out on that. I hate spiders so much. Daddy longlegs are the only spiders that I'm okay with 100% of the time.
Well, I think technically they're not even a spider.
Really? What are they?
I don't remember, but I think
this is like pepperoni is fat. This is the same exact conversation.
No, I honestly think that they're not.
Really?
I'm more sure about that than I am about the
pepperoni argument.
I'm not 100%, but I'm like 95 on the fact that daddy longlegs aren't technically spiders.
Really?
Yeah, they're another species of bug. Because they don't have, I think for it to be a spider, it has to have like the different segments of its body, right? Like it has to have like an abdomen and a thorax.
Oh, and they only have one part. Yeah.
Right. And they've just got like, they're basically like a mite with long legs or something.
But they're venomous as fuck though, is the thing.
I've heard that, but I don't know if that's
they can't like penetrate your skin or whatever.
That's what I've heard.
One of the coolest videos I've ever seen, because I'm just going to call them spiders just for the sake of this statement. Daddy longlegs will hunt other spiders.
Oh, they're my favorite fucking bug then.
They're hunters. So and I saw this. This was like documentary shit. So these daddy longlegs in Australia, some guy had a black widow infestation in his house, right?
Oh, yeah.
He shot this whole it's video on all of it. He set up cameras all over the place. He had a black widow infestation in one of his rooms. So he went in and he released like 30 daddy longlegs in this room. Dude, he had on video these daddy longlegs fucking up these black widows over and over, and it was fucking amazing.
That is wild.
They were eating them. I like them even. It was crazy.
I like them even more now because fuck a black widow.
It was wild.
I've never gotten bit by one of those, but I don't like them.
It's so wild, dude.
But I mean, we have brown recluses, black widows, multiple different types of poisonous snakes, alligators, black bears, certain parts of the state. I think we have jaguars and mountain lions or leopards of some nature. We have anacondas and huge ass fucking pythons and shit because people let them loose.
Because people let them out. Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah.
Iguanas fall out of trees and kill people because people let iguanas loose and they live.
Okay. So I had heard that the only predator to large snakes is large cats.
That could be true.
Because like a large cat will fuck up a big snake.
Large cats are devastating. Those
large cats are the scariest things on planet
They are
Earth,
the scariest fucking thing on the planet, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. The only thing as scary as a large cat is a fucking it's a polar bear.
Oh, polar bears are disturbing.
Because polar bears kill for fun type shit.
Well, and they eat you ass first. Like they don't even care.
Yeah. They don't give a fuck. At least
a lion goes for the throat and kills you and then eats you. Like a polar bear will just hold you down and start eating your leg. You know what I mean? And you're like alive. And you're like, this fucking sucks. Dude. You know what I mean?
Oh, like I'm not gonna fuck with a hippo, you know what I mean? But and I know hippos kill people because I know they're motherfuckers. But you don't hear about hippos like chasing humans down. Big cats will chase you the fuck down, so will polar bears.
Well, and I think we just have a lot more interaction with big cats than
of course,
hippos, right? Because hippos are only in a small part of the world, and you got to basically be in the water to really fuck with them. Like where people are like in the woods hiking, and the fucking mountain lion comes out and fucking starts chasing them. It's like So,
dude, have you seen the video of I think it's a lion. I think it's a female lion. Have you seen the video of the female lion going in the water and pulling a fucking crocodile out?
Dude, lions are no joke, bro.
Dude, this female lion goes in the water, pulls it, it's alligator or crocodile, whatever one's like bigger. Pulls it out by its fucking face, drags it out and kills it. Swear to God. Like, dude, nothing's fucking with dinosaurs, right? Except big cats. You know what I mean?
There is no better example of no matter how bad you are, there's always somebody badder.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's female lions is what it is. Like
the alligator's like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm an alligator. What's up? And the lion's like, yeah, bitch, and I'm about to fuck you up. So how about that?
Oh, dude, it's the wildest thing. The alligator goes in the water. You just see it go under. The fucking cat just jumps in the fucking water. You're like, what the fuck? Like in theory, it's still
like, going in.
Yeah, like you don't go in the water to fuck with a shark, right? You wait till the shark gets on land and then you kill it. You know, the cat is like, nah, I'll meet you in there shortly.
Hold my beer and watch this.
It's so wild, man.
Hold my beer. I tell you, if I'm not mistaken, tigers are even worse than lions.
Tigers are more I know it's our word, but tigers are more athletic, so they're stronger, faster. But I think lions are better hunters than tigers. I could be wrong. It's something like that, though.
People are killed by tigers than lions because I think they have a real problem with tigers in India.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people in India, and tigers are like, look at that little morsel. Yum, 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 yum. You know what I mean? Where lions, I think it's not as densely populated of an area where lions typically are at, where I think tigers are butted right up against like pretty dense populations of people and fuck them up on the regs.
Well, there was happened, I think, in somewhere in Asia, but there were tigers in like an exhibit at a zoo. People were there. There are 3 or 4 people fucking with the tigers, right?
That's always a good idea.
The tigers jump like this wild ass fence because they can jump a kajillion feet in the air, right? They somehow escaped the exhibit, and what they said was the tigers ran past all of the people who were at the zoo and murdered the 3 people that fucked with them, which means the tigers knew exactly who the fuck they were. And they're like, you threw a fucking rock, bitch. You're my dinner. You know what I mean?
That is a perfect visual representation of the whole fuck around and find out.
It 100% is, dude.
The more you fuck around, have you seen that online?
The more you find out.
And he's like, the more you fuck around, the more
dude, I just pulled this up for a different thing, but when the guy goes, this is how we're going to figure out how much you have to fuck around. to find out. And it's the best thing of all time, dude.
It's because he's so dry about it. It's like the funniest thing.
He's like a college professor. It's the best thing of all time.
And it's the truth.
It is.
That's another one I tell my kids all the time. I'm like, if you don't fuck around, you won't find out.
You don't have to, which is the best.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
It's something my uncle told me a long time ago it's another one I tell my kids. It's always easier not to. And don't put your tongue on it. Like, those are just words to live by. It should be on a shirt.
That's pretty
It's always
fair.
easier not to. Yeah. Don't put your tongue on it.
Honestly, it's just safer. You know, like, listen, maybe possibly you missed out on one or two things, but you lived through 7 experiences you would have died from.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's true.
It's the truth, bro. It's truth. Truer words were never spoken.
Luke said his estimated lions kill about 250 people a year. Over the past 200 years, tigers have averaged 1,800 per year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think it has something to do with, from, like I said, bro science, right? A lot of this stuff is just stuff I've heard. I've never actually verified any of this shit, but it's because the tigers, their habitat butts up against pretty densely populated areas where tigers, it's like Sahara, right? There's like not a lot of fucking people out there. It's
right.
You know, yeah, they run into people occasionally, but not near as much as India, which is one of the most populated areas in the world.
Yeah.
And you've got tigers just hanging out in the fucking woods.
Yeah.
Think Florida's bad. How fucking devastating is that? Like, you go on a hike and a fucking tiger comes out after you. Jesus.
Yeah, we don't have big cats. We have big
cats, nothing like that.
We have
mountain
medium
lions, we have panthers and shit like that. And they're still fucking scary, but it's not near as scary as like a full-grown tiger.
Well, those cats usually don't fuck with people. Like those cats either have to be like starving or something's fucked up for them to go after a human. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's most snakes and stuff too, right? Like, most time when people get bit by a snake, it's because you stepped on it or something, or you walked right and like it thought you were trying to hurt it. Like, most of the time, they're going to avoid people when they can.
Right.
We have mosquitoes,
shit, dude. Okay, it's 11:30. Holy shit! It's been 3.5 hours. All right,
we just did a full-on Joe Rogan length live stream.
We did. We fucking did it, dude. We nailed it.
But we haven't talked in like several months.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, it's been several months.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been like very much longer than normal.
It has.
There's just so much shit going on. Obviously, like, you know, you have a bunch of shit going on. We have a bunch of shit going on. And then we don't fucking talk. And then when we do talk, it's 4 hours long. So
it is. And then everybody gets to listen in our conversations.
I know. But, you know.
Hopefully it's entertaining to you guys.
People hang out and be cool and fucking, you know, whatever. But
pour a glass of whiskey, light a cigar, hang out, listen to us talk random bro science and shit that we don't know, and discuss things like if
isn't
Jewish
that the
is
fucking
a religion
truth?
Or a race.
Holy shit. Well, I have to pee again. But before we end it, Pat Ladonna said moral of the stream, Jeremy needs night vision. Is how he is how there you go.
I feel like I'm definitely about to buy a whole plate carrier setup. I'm for sure about to get. That's already in the works. Like, that's already in the works. I'm getting a whole like. That's. You don't have any want for a plate carrier? Like
I'd like a plate carrier so I could walk around and not be as fat. Yeah, I mean, like a weighted.
No, not
vest.
that kind of plate carrier. Like armor.
You want
plates.
like no? I don't. I honestly, if I'm being completely honest, at the moment, I don't.
Really? I don't know. I think.
I'm not listen. Thing. I'm not judging you for wanting it. I'm just saying I don't have it. You know.
Yeah, I think it could be a good thing. Look, am I gonna like run around my house in it, like in like you know
probably
crazy?
Yes,
no,
100% you are.
But I think it's just a good thing to have. Maybe train in it occasionally so you're comfortable in it. You know how to use all the stuff and do all your things, and just have it. And just in case the shit hits the fan, it's kind of like having couple months of food supplies or anything else. It's like you hope you never have to use it, but if there comes a time when you need it, it's better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it. Right?
That's fair. I mean, dude, if you drove down my driveway once, if somebody drives all the way down this fucking driveway, I guess in theory I need a plate carrier. I live in the middle. I live in the woods. I have a long driveway with a gate. If you make it all the way down here, you're trying to fuck around and find out. Back to the grass.
They are definitely way up on the fuck around scale.
They are.
And you 100%. Need night vision, a plate carrier, and 300 blackout suppress so they can find the fuck out.
So you can find out. That's a good.
I'm just saying.
All right.
I told my wife, like, how funny of an image is it? Imagine this: Jeremy in nothing but boxers, a plate carrier and nods with a 300 blackout. Come on, that's a fucking.
And you get, dude, as soon as you get shot in the dick, you're like, fuck. I should have bought the cup version, dude. I should have bought the one. Oh, Night Angel said, I promise you, shit hits the fan. We can make some plate carriers. So, good news. We're good.
Somebody asked what level plates. Level 4. Level 4. Level
all
4
of it's
plates.
Gonna hurt if we're being honest. Like,
well, and I mean, the plates are only covering like extremely vital areas. You could still fucking get taken out. They shoot you in the head, you're still fucked. But you know, it's better than nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If somebody's shooting at you, I'd rather have something protecting this than something not protecting anything. You know what I mean?
Fair. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm. You don't have a 300 blackout. Have you ever wanted to get a 300 blackout?
I've shot a 300 blackout. My buddy, my very close friend, has one. It's my favorite gun he owns.
Dude, it's and because you can get the subsonic ammo, it's one of the few guns. A lot of people misunderstand. They think that if you put a suppressor on a gun, all they've watched is movies.
Yeah,
and they think that it's like, and it's not like that. If you shoot an AR-15 like a 5.56 through a suppressor, you still the sonic crack. It's still loud as fuck. It's just it's a little more hearing safe. It's not quite as devastatingly loud, but it's still loud. But a subsonic 300 blackout is a pretty fucking quiet weapon, dude.
Well, I mean, you're talking like
easily shoot that without ear pro.
Right. For sure.
Easily.
You're talking about like, I mean, it's back to a very similar argument with the FNX45 with a suppressor, where it's like, I could manageably, I could do this and I could hear again. You know what I mean? Like everything would be okay.
Well, that's the thing, and I don't think a lot of people understand. If you pop off a unsuppressed weapon in a house,
oh my gosh, dude,
you're not hearing anything else. So if there's somebody else in the house, if there's more than one of them, you're not going to hear them because you're not hearing anything but beep for the next fucking 30 minutes.
The good news is most likely, if you pop a round off in your house and somebody else is there, they're going to leave.
Well, hopefully, yes. Hopefully,
they're most likely, unless they're there for you specifically, they're probably out.
Especially if you just canoed their buddy's fucking head right in front of them. Hopefully, they're fucking hauling ass.
They don't want to be there anymore. We come to find out.
Yeah, somebody was saying level 4 plates are not heavy. No, some of the new level 4 plates are not that bad. Some of the old level 4 plates are really heavy. I think the level 4 plates I was looking at were like 4 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. It's a new ceramic tile composite, fucking fancy schmancy. I want to say they're 4 pounds. So you get a front and back plate, that's 8 pounds. I mean, that's not light, but I mean, that's not like absurd heavy. You know, I think back in the day, a level 4 plate, they could be 8-9 pounds or something, which, you know, you get 2 of those, that's almost 20 pounds plus all your gear. You got mags that are full and stuff. I mean, your plate carrier can end up getting real heavy, but new technology, they've got some of those plates down to where they're pretty light. They're not near as heavy.
Night Angel said, rack the shotgun, they'll start running. I have heard this philosophy several times of a very loud rack of a weapon is generally pretty fucking good home defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Here's the thing. Most people are coming in to like grab your fucking TV or dumb shit. Like realistically. Yeah, I mean.
Well, the scary thing is like home invasions, right? Those are the scary things.
That is different for sure. Right. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scary thing, because those people sometimes are not coming in just to steal shit. They're coming in to do bad stuff, right?
Right.
So that's the kind of thing. Generally, the people that break in just steal shit, they're not normally doing it at night, honestly, because why would they break into a house with people in it and potentially get shot when they could wait till the middle of the day when people are at work and, you know, break into the house when there's nobody there?
You know what's interesting about that now is that now that a lot of people are remote, it really fucks that whole thing up, right? Like,
yeah, it does. Well, there's more and more people working from home than ever, right?
Like, that's what I mean.
It's getting more and more prevalent.
Dude, we had that. So before we moved into this building, across my driveway basically is where the hut used to be, where we used to film out of, and I used to work out of every day. Right. And we had not home invasions, but like petty bullshit in the area, right? And so one day a car drives down the drive. You can't come all the way down my driveway to turn around. Like you would, if you come to if you're at the house, like you intentionally came to the house, right? So if you turned around at the end of our driveway, we wouldn't even know that you pulled in the driveway to turn around. So I was out in the hut one day, and like we get mail a lot of days of the week. So when a truck, when you hear, we have like a tarmac driveway, like a crushed tarmac driveway or whatever. So when you hear tires on the driveway, I'm just like, oh, UPS or FedEx or USPS, somebody's here, right? So I hear shit on the driveway, and I walk out to like grab the mail in theory or grab a package, and it's just like a car. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. I don't know the car. And like people don't often randomly come back here, but we get like shipped or, you know, random shit delivered. Right. So I walk out. Well, when I walk out, they start driving away down the driveway, and there's a gate about halfway down the driveway. So I walk behind them thinking like they're going to stop when they see me at some point. So I walk, this is midday, whatever. So I walk all the way to the fence, and I know they've seen me, like without a fucking doubt. I'm a human being walking down the middle of my driveway, right? I get all the way to the fence, and then they take off, they leave. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. We know that shit's been going around in the area, but I'm like, listen, I don't know. I walked out. They saw me. At this point, this isn't like a safe space for you to come scout out and like steal shit, right? Right. The next night, like we hear that they fucked with some people down the road's cars in the middle of the night, and they had stole shit out of their cars in the driveway because the cars were unlocked. And I hear it from my neighbor, and then I see that same car in my neighbor's driveway. In the winter time, you can see through the trees, right? So I see it. I text my neighbor. I'm like, hey, I saw a car in your driveway today. They didn't go all the way down. They didn't go to the house. I'm like, but they stopped. They paused. They were there for a little bit. They left. I didn't see anybody get out. Nothing. He's like, what kind of car was it? And I go, well, weirdly, it was the same car that was just in my driveway, 3 days ago or whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, that would skeeve me out. Yeah, he's like, was it this car? And I'm like, it was definitely that car. He's like, holy shit, that's the car we know broke into these people's cars the other night, whatever. He's like, just a heads up, if they show up at nighttime, like they're going to try to go through your cars and shit. And it was like, they saw me at the house. Like, that'd be a real bold fucking move with a gate in the driveway. They saw me at the house.
That's a bold move, Cotton. That's a bold move.
And I'm not fucking like jacked out of my fucking mind, but I'm not a tiny human being. So it's also like one of those things where it's like,
well, honestly, if you're in the country, a lot of people generally have guns.
Buddy, we're in the fucking thick of it, right? Like out here. So it's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, like 2 days later, they got caught breaking into somebody's car, and it was all like petty shit. They're stealing like money out of people's car. It's all people's car shit in the driveway type. It's not breaking into people's houses. But it's like, you're fucking crazy doing this out here. Like, well, that's wild. There are certain
places. It goes back to the fuck around and find out, right? Everything 100%. Goes back to it. It's like there are certain places that it's probably safer to fuck around. Like, for instance, California.
Yeah. Right.
You could pretty much fuck around that entire big portions of that state, and you're probably okay.
And you could probably not find out, is what you're saying.
You could probably not find out, right? There are definitely areas that's not true, but there are a lot of areas that, deep south in the woods, like in a very rural area, probably don't want to fuck around. Almost all those people are on.
You don't want to find out. That's 100%. Yeah.
Don't want to fuck around for the most part. Not a good idea. Anywhere that's very rural, right?
Yeah.
Probably not a great thing, because a lot of people that are rural have, even if they're not a big gun nut, generally have some kind of rifle or something. They hunt or whatever, So probably just not a good move.
Yeah.
So I don't know what somebody was thinking.
It's wild.
or a meth head and really they're not thinking, right? That's the problem with people on drugs is they just don't think.
And the wild part to me is, so Ricky, so we have a 1/4 mile or something like that long driveway, right? 1/8 mile,
Yeah,
something
that's a
long,
long driveway. If you're at the end of your driveway, you're there purposefully.
Dude, and it's like, and there's the fucking gate in the middle of it. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? You made a fucking mistake. That's crazy.
You have fucked around.
And now we're all gonna find out.
And now we're all gonna fucking find out.
Fuck, it's so wild,
his level 4 plate carrier, nods, and his fucking suppressed
Exactly.
In the middle of the day with nods on, just fucking chilling.
Dude, I did walk out. Okay, this is the last, 100% the last story because I got to pee so bad. We got to shut this down.
Well, you got to pick a winner.
Oh, motherfucker, dude. I don't have the video up.
If you don't do that, Sean is in here.
I can't. Sean's in here. I can't. I'm not doing it tonight. I'm not.
You fucked around.
I'll do it tomorrow. Promise.
Now you're going to find out.
I promise. I'll do it tomorrow. I promise.
Dude, he says, Sean, he's telling Sean, he's telling Sean, I tuned in expecting some bourbon junkie talk and heard if you canoe his buddy's head.
I didn't say that. That's not on me. That's not on me. So one night, somehow we get shipped out here, right? So we get like groceries delivered from Walmart and Meijer.
Right.
Well, Ricky also believes in like Facebook Marketplace, like a crazy person. So one night I'm out in the hut. I'm like playing video games. It's fucking 11 o'clock at night, right? It's pitch, like out here, it's like legit pitch black. When it's nighttime, it's fucking nighttime out here, right? We don't have like big city lights, none of that. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, all you're doing is telling me more reasons why you should get
100%. Actually, now that you're kind of, I'm kind of starting to be convinced. So I'm playing video games and I hear something and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I looked down, I'm like, it's 11:30. Like nobody comes here at 11:30. Now, if there's an emergency, like my mom or dad, because they live really close, could be right, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, but man, they would have called or texted, like without a doubt, they would have called and been like, hey, this, whatever. Well, I'm out in the hut and I'm like, I don't have a gun out here. Like all the guns are in the house.
Oh, dude, you got to start strategically placing guns. I have them all over the place.
Right. Well, that makes sense. Now, at the time, I don't have a gun. So I'm like, fuck, dude. You know what? I do have a big ass machete out here. Like, fuck it, right?
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, in theory, at least intimidating, right? I'm 6'2". I got a big machete. I don't know, right?
Unless they've got a gun, and then there's that old saying about you're bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, then I'm fucked. Yeah, 100%. Then I'm just trying to get to the house at this point.
Right.
But mind you, like the hut to the house is like maybe 5 strides. It's really close. So worst case, as long as I don't get hit on the way in, I'll get,
If you're moving fast enough, they're probably not good at shooting or running.
Right. I'm running. I don't know. Not a lot of people like shoot at moving shit. Right. So anyway,
they don't know how to lead somebody.
Yeah. So I'm
how
like,
do you shoot innocent women and children? Easy. You just lead them less.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Don't you remember that?
No, I don't remember
that. Apocalypse Now, the guy's up in the chopper just mowing down fields of people, and he's like, how do you shoot innocent women and children? He's like, easy,
gosh.
you just lead them less.
That's
like,
fucking awful.
That's a fucking ridiculous statement.
That's crazy. But I walk out of the hut and I got the fucking machete in my hand.
Full Metal Jacket. You're right. That's what it was. It wasn't Apocalypse Now. It was Full Metal Jacket. And
the guy goes, hey, I walk out and I go, hey, man. And he goes, hey, super normal, right? It's 11:30 at night. And I go,
that would have freaked me out right there. Like
that makes it a little weirder.
Right.
Like, without a doubt. And I go, hey, man. And he goes, hey. And I go, what do you need? And he goes, I'm here to pick up a rug. Your wife said that you guys were just going to leave a rug out front. And I told her I didn't get off work till like 10:30, so I wouldn't be here till late. And I look over at our patio. I go, there's a rug there. And he goes, oh, cool. That must be it. And I go, that looks like it. And he goes, thanks, man. Have a good night. Swear to God, grabs the rug, gets in his car and leaves. The next day, I go, hey, babe,
How about you fucking give a little heads up?
Yeah, I can't not know about people coming to our house at 11 p.m. Eastern, right? Like, what the fuck? She goes, what do you mean? I go, I'm in the fucking hut and somebody drives up at 11. Like, that's super abnormal here, right? Like, she's like, oh, shit. I'm like, yeah, shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I had a machete in my hand.
See, I would have had a gun behind my back, and I would have been like, that guy would have not known how close he just came to just getting popped.
Dude,
okay,
the nicest guy. He was so nice too. It was like not his fault at all. Like he had even told her, right? Like, hey, I don't get out of work. I work second shift. Like all the things. And I was like, hey, you gotta fucking like just share the info. I just share it,
Goodness gracious.
But fuck, man.
Yeah, dude. That's a dangerous and sketchy situation.
Dude, it was like I told her, I'm like, listen, that's stressful shit. Like either way you look at it, like we have kids here. Why are people here at our house at 11 o'clock? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Somebody comes knocking at my door at 11:30. I'm definitely answering a door with a gun.
Well, and that was the thing is like from the perspective of Ricky's conversation and this guy's, he's going to come pick up this rug. We don't need to interact. Leave the money on the porch. The rug's on the porch. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And I'm like, right. But
somebody like around my house, I might have left 100%.
100. That was my point. Is hey,
right?
We could have left this thing anywhere.
Kind of pull up and then grab it and go on. But if you're walking up to my house at 11:30 at night, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to verify. I'm just not going to start shooting people because then you go to jail for murdering somebody. But like, I'm definitely going to be armed, and there's definitely going to be a gun tracking on you to make sure that everything is cool.
Way more on edge, right? Like a whole different.
Yeah, man, it's not normal for somebody to be peeping around your house at 11:30 at night, no matter where you live. Like even
this poor guy,
that still would be weird.
And this poor guy's never been here, so he's just like, it's on the front patio somewhere. Then it's fucking 11. It's dark as shit, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, like we could have put this, like you just mentioned, out by the road. Hell, it could have been at the fucking gate. Who gives a shit, right? Like
right at the gate would have been fine. Yeah.
Because
I mean, like I said, I live in a neighborhood, and if somebody was like wandering around my house at 11:30 at night, it would be very suspicious. And there's far more likely in a neighborhood scenario. In your situation where you're at the end of a long fucking quarter-mile driveway, that is like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer is here for a snack. Like I'm fixing to,
dude, it's just different. It's just fucking crazy, man. All right, I got to pee so bad. We got to shut this down.
All right, buddy. We'll get out of here. Sorry, Sean, that we fucked up and didn't. Sean's probably mad at us because we didn't.
He's not mad. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll just use comment picker tomorrow and fucking do that. Because here's the thing. The thing is, realistically, we could pick one tonight, but they might not even be in chat. So it might not even be helpful.
That's true.
So
we probably should have done that like early on in the chat. Now that I think about it,
in theory, dude, definitely in theory.
That's my bad. It's not my bad.
It's not your bad. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching and being a part of the stream. Appreciate it,
Jeremy. Up with our antics.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, buddy. It's good to catch up. So
Dan, I love you, brother. I'm glad we got to catch up. Sean, I'm sorry you couldn't be here. I would have liked to have caught up with you too, man. But next time, brother. We'll try to do this not like 6 months next time.
6
or
months
maybe
apart.
when I start doing more common live streams, maybe I'll have you guys over. I haven't had you guys on in a long, long time. Maybe I'll have you guys come over and we'll do a little something here in like a month.
Let's do it. For Jeremy, if you want his the new thingers that he might or might not have been putting in that glass ashtray tonight and enjoying, you could check Pravada out because they would be over at Pravada.
They would be.
Our pick is gone, and I think that's it. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We will talk to you a different day.
Smooches, motherfuckers.
See ya.
Later.
Oh, dude, I clicked the wrong button 3 times. I have to pee so bad.